What's going on, everybody? We are back. We are back for another episode of the Ladies First panel. We hope that you guys have been having a great week. Okay, make sure that you guys are subscribed to all of our channels, okay, and social media. That's at Jami ThatsMe, at Bondy Blue, at Necey Dixon, okay. And Bondy is at a new Twitter, and that is at Blue Rose Bondy, right? Over on the Twitter.
Yes, it is.
So awesome. Make sure that you guys are following and supporting, and do know that a podcast is going to be on the way. So be on the lookout. All right. We'll be dropping some episodes soon on that. Am I right, ladies? Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Ready,
All
Freddy.
right. Hey, y'all. What's going on?
Hey.
I was just
Hi,
telling the people
y'all.
about the podcast and stuff that we're trying to put together for them so they can be expecting episodes soon. But on our social medias and stuff, we'll make sure that you guys have links to where you can go directly to our page. So be looking forward to that coming soon. Okay. Um, yeah. Any other housekeeping notes? No,
Somebody said,
everybody
what will
had
the podcast be about?
it will
It's
be pretty much what we do now. It'll be our
Mhm.
show, our Thursday shows. And it'll be available to you guys in audio format. Okay. So
especially
that's
those
what
of
it's
y'all that
giving.
like to listen and work.
Yeah, for sure.
Listen while you work. I'm not gonna sing
Okay.
the rest, but y'all know how it goes. Yin yang in this thing.
All right. It'll be video and audio pretty much. You know what I'm saying? You'll have the video as you all always get it. And then you'll also have the audio version as well. Okay. How you ladies feeling? Everybody good? Everybody had a great week?
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, y'all. Why are the weeks going by so fast? I'm sorry. I go back to work next week. And I had to take in my little paperwork saying I can go back to work, and I took Snow to the office with me. And y'all, I got so anxious. I got so
Why?
anxious. It's just too much. You know that crazy girlfriend meme of everybody sitting there staring at you like literally. I showed up. Everybody was for like 20 minutes.
Hi,
I'm
easy.
like,
That's
fuck. Now I
hilarious.
gotta go back and you just kind of get in your own being of like 24/7. Like it's different than having to go to the office and you got your. That's a whole different. No, and it's kind of tiresome. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah.
I would have been
Yeah, I
Yeah.
anxiety
understand.
filled. I would have been worried because back at the news station, people didn't like to wash their hands.
Girl.
And people love to touch babies. And it's like, don't touch
Ooh.
my baby, dirty Caucasian person.
I
It's
applauded for
crazy
that.
that you have to say something. I don't know why people feel sometimes that even if they are familiar with you in the slight, they think that they're okay to touch your child.
Mhm.
Sometimes strangers do too, where they could just just touch their fingers, like, "Hi, how are you?" Or just
Yep.
rub. They like, please stop. It's kind of similar to walking up and wanting to rub somebody's belly just because they're
Yeah.
pregnant.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Girl, I
Yep.
remember
I don't like
how
that.
we was when we did Tasha's show. I was so
Oh yeah.
defensive. I
People was
was
rubbing your
so
belly.
Mm-hmm.
I
they
mean your
know that
belly.
They
you could
wanted
feel
to.
them
They.
wanting to, and I
Mm-hmm.
was just like,
Mm-hmm.
it was weird.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Like,
like
what is
that.
wrong with
Yeah,
y'all? Like,
child.
I didn't even feel
Good
like I could just run up and
morning.
touch your stomach. Like, why do strangers who don't even know you? Like,
Mm-mm. Nah, I don't know what you got on them hands. Nah, I applauded. I gave her a nice, healthy feeding. She was asleep. Walked in sleep like, oh,
Oh,
baby sleep.
good.
Sorry. She sleep. Kept her in the stroller. Let's go. Okay. Just
Oh,
look.
nice. See,
So
I'm
yeah.
terrible. Like, well, my oldest, I did not want people to even look at my child. I don't know what. I used to snap at my mom if she had my son and she was on the aisle, and then somebody she knew she was talking to, they'll ask about my baby. Oh, let me see the baby. Don't let nobody. Don't play that. So like my son now, we have the type of stroller where you can pull the entire thing. You can't even see him at
Yes,
all.
I've
I don't know
seen
why I get.
those.
Sometimes I don't mind it, and then sometimes I be like, "Don't be looking at my baby." Like I was getting out the car one day, and this lady was getting out the car too, and it seemed like she was rushing to get out her car so she could see my child. Maybe it was just in my head or something.
No, they do.
But
That's
I'm
what it be like.
like, you ain't finna see my baby. Like, girl, as soon as I put him in the thing, I covered him the hell up. Like, no, you're not gonna see him.
It be
Mm-mm.
people who never say hello to
I
you
mean,
on a random Tuesday, and as soon as you got a baby or a dog, it be babies and dogs where nothing else matters.
They be trying to be
Politics
tuned
goes out the
in. Yeah.
window. Delivered from racism.
right.
Not delivered from
Right. No, for real. White
All of
people
a sudden.
love black people when they babies. I'm not really
I'm
all white people, but
hollering.
y'all know what I mean. I be thinking to myself like, damn, y'all be all for the children, but let them hit 8. They grown.
Then all of a sudden they can get shot
Okay.
for a place of gun.
Ooh, help us,
No, for real, I
Father.
feel you. That's what it be like for some of them,
Mm,
for real.
It's a
it
fucking
do.
mess.
It is absolutely 1000%.
Are y'all still hearing the
Um,
echo?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
yeah.
I don't know where that's coming from because I don't hear it. I'm gonna restart my shit. So like talk, talk, but I'm here, but I'm gonna restart my shit.
Okay. I gotcha.
I just muted it. I
Um,
muted.
you say what?
Just sound check.
You said you just
But
need it. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Make sure you guys are liking up the video. Okay, while we get that together, let me get a little bit of music or something here for y'all so y'all can like up the video in the meantime. All right, y'all. And we is back. Okay. So we do apologize for the sound issues. The system that we're using, they already notified us that they're having some issues or whatever. But hopefully it gets better as the show goes on. You feel what I'm saying? So the first thing I want to talk to y'all about is it's about college in a sense, right? And we all have been to college. We all have graduated. And I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on this situation as people that are graduate or have graduated and kind of like alumni too. So it's two different schools that we're going to get into. So let me make sure I get that up on the screen, okay, so that we can talk about that real quick. Like, all right. Okay. So this is Howard University. And they ended up having like a nursing program. And it got really hectic because I guess they had like too many guests or whatever. And it caused like an uproar. People were trying to get inside. They locked the folks out. And then they ended up sending the people out to where they couldn't even participate in they couldn't even graduate anymore. So let's check this out.
Because of the size of the room and because our relatives sometimes do not know how to act, the fire department is now here to shut us down.
Administrators doing their best to let the grads get their special moment and grab their diplomas before they cleared the room, but the damage was done.
Like while they were doing the keynote speaker, there was like loud banging. Even before that, for like 10 minutes straight, just like boom, 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 boom.
After this commotion, pictures showed the broken glass door left behind.
It's sad right now, low-key.
Oh, yeah.
It's sad.
I'm just heartbroken.
And dreams shattered for grads like Holly Ragunanan and her family, looking to make up for moments missed during the pandemic.
Glass started getting broken. One of my classmates' hands got cut. I didn't even get to walk. I graduated magna cum laude and I didn't even get to walk. I'm class 2020. I didn't get to walk for my high school graduation. I didn't get to walk for my college graduation.
It's not just the grads who left the canceled commencement disappointed.
Because
All right. I don't think that the university should have punished the graduates because of how other people were acting on the outside. Now, the lady did say that the fire marshals was coming to kick them out, but the fire marshal said that is not true. They was just responding to the person that was injured. What are y'all thoughts about it?
I
I think they should have did
that
a better job at preparing for this as well.
Yeah, I agree. I also feel like they should have just dismissed everybody in the crowd and let the students go ahead and do what they needed to do, especially because they were already recording it. So y'all can watch this shit later. You know what I'm saying? But it was most important the tradition of walking across the stage to receive your diploma, especially like the young lady said, like not being able to do that in 2020. Like y'all really ruined that shit for somebody that was trying very hard to complete that task. So for me, I feel like it was fucked up that they did that, but they need to have that over again. And this time
Well, they
they need
said
to
no. Go ahead.
No, I was like, this time they need to make sure they have more security. They need to make sure the venue is large enough, and they need to make sure there are police on site that can handle that. Like the fire marshal shouldn't have had to
Mhm.
handle that. Like down here where we do college graduations, we first of all we do them in the arenas. Outside of doing them in the arenas, there's always a large police presence whenever there's a large group of people anywhere in New Orleans. So I don't even understand having a full graduation with no real police presence, and all y'all had was the fire marshal. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're saying
I'm
that they
kind of
allowed them to walk the
Oh,
next day
go
or
ahead.
something like that.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what they said. They allowed them to walk with the other group the next day. But I was like, what about the people who family members probably had to go back, and that was the only day they had. They probably had to fly back or something. They couldn't make it to the next graduation.
Hopefully they
I see
had
they tried to
dinner.
make up for it, but
They should have live streamed it. Like
Mhm.
Bondy was saying, they had already recorded it. Um, they should have people at the door. This is what I'm confused about. I don't know if the issue is about capacity or if it's about people acting a fool. Because they said something about you just hear bang, 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 bang. Then you hear capacity. Like, what is it? I'm
And
kind of
what was the glass broken for? That was
yeah.
another thing.
I think they said somebody was pushing against it or something like that, and it ended up breaking.
We was in that much of a rush to get into the venue, child, I guess.
Yeah, they should have people at the door. I mean, I'm thinking about the way they had it in mind. They had people at the door, and it wasn't tickets, but they literally was like clicking when people was coming in and communicating.
Hmm.
At the point at which it had reached capacity, they should have shut the doors and said, "Hey, we're gonna have streaming." But hopefully, they learn for next time.
That
I
would have
mean,
been great. I
I'm
was
sorry. I'm sorry. I want to curse this person out in the
That would have
comments
been
right
great.
quick.
Go ahead.
First of all, don't play with my city like that. Okay. You would be wrong. One thing we know how to do better than most people is how to deal with a large crowd. Yes, people get popped here all the time. I don't know where you live where it doesn't happen that much, but great for you. Either way, your food isn't as good. So what about that? What I will say is though, in New Orleans, like we are really good at large crowds like that because of Mardi Gras. Because we often have times where it's a large group of people just walking down the street all the time. So
right,
that's why we have large police presence whenever there's a large amount of people because we have Mardi Gras, culture and shit. I don't know if they do any of that type of thing wherever you from, but good luck with that.
right. And New Orleans is a tourist city. Y'all, it's an eventful city. Y'all have stuff every damn month, even if it ain't Mardi Gras.
It's tired.
Literally, I'd be like, "Hey, it's June. You want to go to Jazz Fest? Hey, and you want to go? Hey, let's go."
No, for
Like,
real. Bayou
for
Boogaloo is
real.
this week. Like either this week or next week is Bayou
Oh,
Boogaloo. And
Bondy
I'm like, I
Blue.
might yes, it's a big party up and down Bayou St. John. People have their boats, they get in the water, they're like vendors,
Oh,
they're
that
the
sounds
large
fun.
stage. It's a whole thing, girl. It's real cute. There are festivals
Yeah,
literally in almost every part of our city going on at all times of the year. I'm so sorry
literally.
it's not boring here.
Mm. And Barry, I got another one for y'all. Real quick. This right here was actually embarrassing to me.
Oh gosh.
um, yeah, FAMU. That's crazy. So they received a
Why the
gift,
donor
a
look like
donation of
AI?
200 and
He do. Low
right.
key,
Do
he kind of scared me. This donor picture
No, for
scared the
real.
fuck out of me. It looked like an elevated I Am Robot 2050 creation. It scared the fuck. I didn't want to make eye contact. I was like, "Oh, what happened?"
embarrassing. Not did you say an elevated AI? Oh my god.
Yeah, like some type of
No.
robot. Like this is the top tier
Ah,
level robot. Very skin like.
not top
I'm
tier.
sorry, that was woo.
Y'all are
It
crazy.
scared the fuck out of me.
I know
You would have
what's
thought it
going
would have
on.
scared the fuck out of FAMU. And if it would have scared them, they wouldn't have got scammed with that $237 million. I said 237. God, that's a lot of
Right?
money. Only for them to find out that he's, I guess, ran this situation in the past about, I guess, stock or whatnot, selling stock off to the universities or not really. I don't think they sell it off to them, but gifting him so much money. But he did this previously with another school in the Carolinas, and somebody said he withdrew the money because he felt disrespected. And I'm like, so did he withdraw the money, or was the money never there with the past set of people?
I'm sorry.
What?
There's no
Look at
way.
this man's eyes. The
Look at this.
way
Look
that
at
our
his
discernment
facial hair.
told us that this ain't it, how the fuck did they stand in front of a crowd to decide that they wanted to accept this 237? You know who this
Look
reminds me of?
at the facial hair.
It reminds me of that teenager that pretended to be an OBGYN. Do you remember?
Down in Florida,
Yes, all he had to do was
Florida
have
got some
glasses.
scammers.
And go like this.
Yo, when y'all commit crimes in Florida, they be on
Crazy.
another level. Like y'all be on another level with it. Okay, I think Georgia may try and do like credit card type scams and little stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like y'all really y'all commit for
Child, not
real.
you
Like
being
this
from
is crazy.
Florida talking about New Orleans like that. That's hilarious.
Do y'all think somebody on the board should have been fired?
Yes.
Expeditiously.
You are not utilizing the degree at all. Like, I'm sorry,
That's
y'all.
embarrassing to the maybe not fired, but maybe demoted.
He has pork chop sideburns. He has pork chop sideburns.
Not
He looks
pork
like
chop.
fucking JJ Evans in 2024. I don't even understand
listen
why
to
they
this.
thought he had money.
Well, I think he was supposed to be like a representative on behalf of a Batterson
Anybody
Farms
with that
Corporation.
amount
But
of
listen to
money?
this.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Right.
Still.
So
Still.
they
It wasn't
said
coming
that,
out of his pocket. He was a rep. Okay.
right. So they're saying it's highly unlikely that Batterson Farms Corporation could have generated anything close to $237 million in legitimate shareholder value by the time the gift was made to FAMU in April. After all, Batterson Farms is a small business that began farming operations in 2020 during the onset of the 2-year-long C-19 pandemic. So this company just came around in 2020. Like, yeah, somebody need to be fired. I'm sorry, because because FAMU allowed this man to give the commencement speech. They took pictures of him on the university. They made all these posts and stuff talking about, oh, we're getting this much money. Like, y'all was so eager to sock it to the other HBCUs, in my opinion, and to grease whatever pockets. That somebody probably should be fired for not properly vetting this situation before y'all attach y'all name to it and put it out there for the general public. That is so damn embarrassing. But it's a kiki for me.
I'm
It's
sorry,
definitely.
y'all. I'm still stuck at what he looked like. Like,
What?
what the-
Somebody in the comments said he looked like he from a black exploitation film.
Jive turkey.
Damn. Now he
Definitely
looks
look like
broke
AI.
and bad.
He does look
Child,
broke. I don't know what they saw.
I can't.
Well, they said he was a representative. That's what. So yeah,
Even
I guess.
representatives look like they got money.
I don't know.
He ain't got no
child.
fresh shade. Like, there's nothing about his aesthetic that tells me he works somewhere that make a lot of money. I'll say it like that. And I know, oh, you grow shit. Yeah,
Hilarious.
nah, that's not good enough.
I was willing to give him a slight pass because I felt like a lot of million and billionaires like to walk around and they want people to
Look
think they
poor.
broke when they got a lot of money.
And those are
You
usually
said
white.
la poor.
I said
They
that's-
are yeah, that's true. They are typically white. This is true. They are who come to mind. They are who come to mind first, I have to say. Because when it comes to us black folks, we do be doing the most with our money. Even when we are a bit of broke. Give me 1 second. Oh, I'm gonna get to those towards the end. But we like to be very flashy with ours as well. So I understand what y'all are saying. And what I'm getting at is this young lady here who paid, which is my question to y'all, is how much is too much for a wig? This young lady paid $1,600 and she said the wig was not included. But she loved her hair though. It got some mute. You know what? I think it got Kendrick.
Go with him. Walking down
Kendrick
the whole time. I know he got
music.
pull on him. Extort. Bully the floor him. Say Drake. I hit you like a dog. You better not ever go to Cell Block.
Do you want to mute it?
Oh, that's Tay, huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Tay.
yeah,
I
I know.
unmuted
She
it.
paying because it's Tay. Because no way in hell should you ever pay $1,600 for a lace lay down in a bump. Like, no, fuck no. At top, that should have been maybe what, $350,
Well, I
$4,
would more than 350 for sure.
$5.
Yeah, I could maybe 6 max. Like just because of who he is. Because I know people down here, what the sew-ins are every bit of $450 or so. Like
That's more work
450
than
for
this.
some of the top girls that I'm thinking about down here. So for Arrogant Tay, if you gonna pay, if you want to pay just to sit in his chair, maybe 6, and then you get the hair, but
100?
1,600, not including the
1,600.
hair.
I'm not even
Yeah, I
understanding on
think
those.
that's a problem. The not including the wig. I can't. And then this is what he said though. He says that it's a whole experience when you book him. Is what he's
It looked like
saying. He's
it
like,
looked like a
"Oh, I'm
basic
not
ass
no
experience
average
to me.
person." It does. It does. I'm not gonna pretty much read everything he said, but he's like, I'm not none of these other folks. I'm Tay. And because I work with Nicki Minaj and other folks, I can charge what it is that I charge because I love exactly what it is that I do. And I've been doing it since I was 12 years old. Now, it's some people that may do good, but they ain't me because I do better than them. And so that's what he said. And I just don't, 1,600 though. I don't want to knock his price, but I feel like
Right,
those are
good for
prices you
him.
do charge to like higher, like, I guess like love and hip hop people, possibly. I'm trying to see who else may get paid decent on reality TV, but whoever those people are,
I
maybe
feel
charge
like
them.
I could understand if he was braiding. Honestly, I could even understand if he was doing an actual sew-in that required braiding and track for track sewing. I could, you know what I'm saying? And for your own hair to be, washed and combed and pressed. Like I could understand
He
if it
has to
was.
be doing that.
You think that's what? Because that looked like a full cap. Like he
He
put
better
a
not.
stinking ass stocking cap on that girl head, glued it down, and then bumped the hair.
I think he might have an assistant that may help wash and braid. So maybe he wants to make sure they get paid a
Okay.
good price.
Okay.
Might be why he charges that, which
Because
then
we
makes
didn't
sense because
see
we
no
want people.
braids. All we saw was that stocking cap and then glue.
Well, probably to get her hair that flat, he had to braid it. What glue?
I'm
No, I mean, I
Let me
saw
go.
You
him,
didn't
gluing the wig on. I didn't see him
Okay.
actually braiding. Because, like, if that was the process, why we didn't see,
He definitely
I
braided
think
her
she
hair.
probably was trying to crop and fit stuff into a 1 minute thing. So she could
To
have
be able to
possibly,
get it that flat, yeah, they definitely braided her hair down.
yeah. Because most of the time they have a particular way that they braid. So they would prefer to braid it. But I do
I
question
mean,
about whether it was washed and stuff. But I would want to think he probably got an assistant to do all of that, wash him and braid down and put the wig on accordingly. But
yeah, better not be on no come
1,600
wash and blow
though.
dry. And I don't
I
see
mean, and
not
for
one
that
beverage
price,
in her hand.
oh help me.
If it's
I
1,600, I'm gonna need meals and champagne. The
okay,
most
and a
expensive.
glueless frontal, a glueless wig. Because what's the point in getting it done and then you really can't wear it? You gotta go back and get it. You got to schedule a whole nother appointment. But if you get it glueless and you could just slap it on your head and go whenever you want to, and you can constantly wear it, it's customized to your head. You get more wearage out of it. Because after a while, I would think we want new wigs because the lace may, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The lace may not be good after all that gluing down, I would think.
Yeah. And who knows how much she spent on the hair. Shit.
My other question is, did she fly from somewhere?
Ugh.
Did you spend money and flew out there to go get your hair done by Tay and then bought the wig and then, girl, do your thing, mama. Definitely out of my range. Thank you so much, Dolores, for the super chat. The check looks like it was made in arts and crafts. They would have known. They should have known. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. Anything else on this Tay?
Good
We're
for him.
good. Let's go ahead and move on to this topic that has been a very big conversation starter. A lot of people have had a lot of things to say about this. And I definitely want to get you guys' thoughts about the teacher that went viral when it comes to the braids and things, having the students take down the hair. A lot of people have had things to say. I personally felt as though it was inappropriate, in my opinion. I think that it was very unprofessional. I felt like the children should not have been put onto social media, in my opinion. And I felt like they were monetized off of, honestly, for his platform. They were used for his financial gain. Financial gain from TikTok and financial gain because he ain't had to go pay nobody to take his goddamn hair down. Okay. Although I do understand it was at the end of the day, everybody was getting ready to go home or whatever. I still feel how I feel was inappropriate and unprofessional. However, I did not think that he should have been fired. In my opinion, I don't think he should have been fired, but I think he could have been reprimanded in some sort, had a conversation with, limit what he could put on social media. You know what I'm saying? So those are my thoughts. What did you ladies think about it?
So they did ultimately fire him? Because I remember they suspended him.
I feel like that's still being speculated. I think I'm not sure. I don't think nothing. I haven't seen anything to confirm that he has truly been fired. And because it's the end of the year, I think that he was put on leave since the school year about to be over with in like a week or two. That's what I think. And he could potentially, after the hype dies down, return in the fall. But you know, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm gonna say I just don't think it's responsible on his part. Because for one, I mean, we not gonna act like we see stuff in the news all the time about inappropriate relationships between teachers and students. We see stuff all the time. But I also feel like as the adult in the situation, you should be super careful to make sure that you're not creating an environment where people can speculate that about you. I just think it's irresponsible. I think maybe if he was like at Boys and Girls Club and he volunteered and did that, it'd be fine. But for you to be a teacher, I just think it's inappropriate. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it at that. I think it's irresponsible on his part.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So, what's her name? India Royale came out and she had something to say. She says, "No, hell no, I will not be explaining further." Then somebody goes on and says, "Man, I hate stuff like this for real because I was accused of sleeping with one of my high school teachers because I was always in his class and he would take me home and I would be at his house. And truthfully, I looked at him like an uncle and he treated me like his daughter." So then India responds and says, "I'm glad that was something that worked out for you, but that could have easily went left. As a parent, you have to do what's in your child's best interest. It's best to be preventative because once it happens, it's nothing you can do to erase it." Okay. So that's something she mentioned. And then I wanted to get into this post because I liked how this guy really put this one together in my personal. So I want to check this out.
We're asking the wrong questions, but the teacher was reportedly fired for having a group of girls take down his braids in class. We're watching this video and we're asking, are his intentions pure and is this too intimate? But those are the wrong questions to ask because we can only answer them after somebody's been harmed. The questions we need to be asking are, what is being normalized by this interaction, and what feelings might this interaction be causing in a child? As a youth development professional, your intentions are irrelevant when you realize your job is to model behavior that can and should be replicated by other people in your position. So what is being normalized by this interaction is being live streamed, physical touch and proximity. And it's being normalized not only for the young people, but for everybody watching. And that's important. At best, this interaction creates a foundation for something called transference. Transference is when feelings and desires get projected from one person to another based on past relationships and unmet needs. Transference can create feelings for a kid that are inappropriate and unproductive for a teacher-student relationship. So a young person who has unmet needs for affection, attention, and validation might project feelings of admiration onto an adult who just introduced physical touch into their relationship. That in and of itself makes a young person more vulnerable to harm when those inappropriate expectations aren't met. If those inappropriate expectations are met, or if they take those same boundaries into relationships with other adults. Inviting physical touch into a teacher-student relationship creates fertile ground for grooming. That's the process a predator uses to build trust and emotional connection with a young person they intend to manipulate, exploit, or harm. They might use attention, affection, guidance, and special treatment to fill an emotional need from a kid's life. Then they'll desensitize that young person to physical touch and sexual topics, starting small and building up. All the while, they're testing their boundaries to see how far they can push before a young person resists or someone speaks up. The entire time, there's plausible deniability. The point is to slowly push the boundaries and make everybody involved question whether or not their suspicions are warranted. The kid, the parents, the people around the kid. So if something doesn't feel right, but you just can't put your finger on why, or it doesn't seem like a big deal. If it seems like a gray area, but just not big enough to speak up about, that's the point. Making people question their own instincts means the victim and the audience are groomed or prepared for the next step. So how can you tell the difference between someone who's unknowingly creating the conditions where transference might occur and someone who is grooming a young person and the people around them for abuse? You can't. If you could, kids would be a lot safer. There are people who will say that this sort of interaction is necessary to build culturally responsive relationships in school.
And then he goes on to say it's not. That's where the video ends. Any thoughts on that?
I think it was good. Go ahead, Bondy.
I mean, I agree. I said it before. I guess I'll say it again. I do feel on some level like what is required from teachers does not always fit into a professional box. I also feel like when it comes to the kids being on social media, like I heard that, the parents approved their kids being on social media. A lot of these kids are already on social media. But when it comes to, being in somebody's hair is intimate, I understood what he was saying. Basically, anything you do with these kids outside of a very strict, this is what we're doing, outside of that, it can come off as if you are grooming them for more. And I agree with that because we know how people love to fuck these kids. But with this specific person, I feel like there is something to be said for him being very young. And something about him makes me feel like he may not have been liked a lot when he was in school. And so his relationship with these kids is coming from the place of finally feeling liked or appreciated for being a nerd versus being picked on. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. So I feel like a lot of what he was receiving from all of this was validation that he may not have gotten when he was younger. Yeah. More so than him grooming the girls so that he can eventually have sex with them. And the only reason I say that is because it was a number of girls. Everybody had a rat tail comb, which means everybody at school be doing each other hair. And I also grew up in an environment where you take testing. Once the testing is over, it's a very lax environment in the schools. I also spent a lot of time in my teachers' classrooms because people didn't like me and I didn't like people. So I also feel like, of course, you want to make sure you're being professional, and they didn't have to necessarily be taking out his hair, but I do sometimes wonder, you know what I'm saying? Like, do we want these kids to have good relationships with other people that are not in their family? Because I think a lot of this is sometimes like, you can't have a friendly relationship with an adult that's not in your family. When these relationships, and I'm not saying that's not what they're saying, but it kind of feels like, be careful. You can't be too cool with this adult, even though you see him every day, because he might be trying to fuck you. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? I do. I get it. But it makes
Yeah,
me
that's
sad because I feel like I remember what it was like growing up and not really having a lot of interactions with adults that made me feel safe. So sometimes, like what the kids get out of their teachers is because it's shit they're not getting at home. And I wish there was a better way for a teacher to be able to be sometimes more of a family member, or have a more um familial relationship with these kids, instead of always having to keep such hard lines to make sure we're staying within boundaries. But I do think it is more important to stay within the boundaries.
yeah.
So I get it, but it did kind of make me feel like, damn, like, do we just really not want these kids to like their teachers at all sometimes? And also, I saw some stuff I didn't like as far as them trying to like adultify the girls. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all the visual that came into my mind, like blaming the girls in some type of way, like, oh, they fast or some shit, or they like him, fuck ever.
Oh.
But this is what I want to say that came into my mind. Do y'all remember on Poetic Justice when they was at the picnic, the family reunion picnic, and Janet Jackson comes to this family picnic? Nobody know her, but for some reason, 5 minutes after sitting down, she has all of these young girls, kind of going through her braids, and she's talking to them, and you know what I'm saying? But it's like all of these young girls that are kind of in her hair, and it kind of felt just more like, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of the visual that came into my head when I saw him sitting there, because it wasn't like he was touching anybody. Like I could, you know what I'm saying? Like the arms are crossed, or I'm holding the frog. I'm on camera the whole time. So I felt like there was a lot of stuff being done to show that this is not me having an inappropriate relationship with them, just simply us having a friendship amongst us as teacher student. However, again, I still agree with everybody. That's why I was just like, oh, well, that he got fired, because you do need to learn your boundaries. You do need to learn that they are not just your friends or anything. Like, I feel like you
Right.
should have relationships with them, but you need to understand as an adult, there needs to be a line. And I do feel like there is something about this specific dude that he doesn't exactly see it. And I think we saw that when he got online crying.
I
You know
was
what I'm
just
saying?
about to say that. This,
I want.
Bondy, you brought up a good point of maybe he wasn't liked when he was in high school. The reason why I felt so opinionated on like, no, like cut that shit out right now, is because I actually know somebody who went to UNT with me, and you could tell he was super duper lame, 5 foot nothing, couldn't pull the girls, and he ended up becoming a teacher. And everything that he does is like a flex or a projection on social media. And he's posting on social media to get clout because he finally feels like he's that dude. But the problem is he's operating in a childish mindset. If you need your ego stroked by these children, you don't see yourself as someone, as the adult in a situation.
Right.
So then it's a slippery slope of, if you
Right.
get gratification from being the popular teacher when you're there to
Will you get
educate.
it from sexual flirtation if the young girls like you? Will you
Exactly.
be able to sustain boundaries if you are
Right.
pressured in
Right. When
some
one is
capacity?
attractive,
Right.
Right.
or if you may
If
find an
Yes.
attraction to a younger, you just
Yes.
never
if your
No,
know.
I
goal
agree.
is gratification. So I think, and when, based on what you said about the video, when he was crying in the video and reading the text messages, to me, it was clear that to me, I don't think this man operates from a fully adult mindset. Like,
That.
he doesn't, because the way he was crying and reading the text message and they were calling him bestie, that to me, I wouldn't want you to, be an educator for my child. Now, if you had a child in the Big Brother, Big Sister program, and maybe it wasn't your job to educate, but be more of like maybe an older sibling, peerish mentor, like a step above, maybe. But as far as education, like, this dude ain't got it. And I I think they did the right thing. Now, I don't know about firing him. Maybe they fired him because of the social media policy. But when I say the right thing, I mean it's better to be proactive, because my gut is just telling me it's just not sitting right with me. The flex that he
Also,
thought social media was.
though, I do want to say something about the way social media responds to shit. because in real life, it seemed like them people didn't have no issue with what the fuck was going on until y'all got online and started bitching a fit like y'all did. And I'm not
Right.
saying it was right or wrong, but there's something to be said for the fact that, you know, it wasn't an issue until everybody started screaming about it being an issue. You know what I'm saying? And
I think
I
people
don't
called
know,
up to the school.
but and they did. And I want to know though, I want to know if there were, because people said there were no stories of him doing anything else. And I'm not saying that it's not something that wouldn't have happened in the future. I'm just, you know, wondering, was there anything substantial? Because really the crying video is what made me feel like, yeah, nah, nigga, you don't even know how to control your emotions in this moment. And you don't realize how there's a level of decorum you need to have even in this moment. And you don't even realize it. So that's the thing that made me feel like, yeah, whatever happened to him, you know, I'm sorry that happened to you, baby, but whatever. Like, I really can't give a fuck too much. Because I don't, you know, I don't trust men like that specifically, but I absolutely don't trust people who I feel like seem to only have young friends. And that's another thing. I was like, I need to see other aspects of this nigga to really like why die in a situation. But I was like, you know, the way you talk to them kids, do you have friends your own age? You know what I'm saying? Some of the weird shit he did made me feel like he's somebody that may not have anybody else around him but those kids. And that is how we get into the slippery slope situation. So yeah, no, I just felt like that video by itself was not enough for me to say he was grooming them, because I've seen kids take motherfuckers' hair out a million times in my life, growing up, being in school, after school, adults, children, you know what I'm saying? And it's just not, I feel like another, you know, I hate to say it like this, but like the way we look at a lot of things is corrupted. And it's not to say that people aren't corrupted, but even just fact, you know, everybody acting like, oh, the hair is intimate. No, it's not. No, it's not. You let complete fucking strangers do your hair. Why are you acting like every interaction with your hair is some intimate, my man washing my hair in the kitchen sink thing? Like, it's just, you know, like I
We
feel
gotta
like,
question the principal, and we gotta question leadership,
yes.
because it seems, to your point, the why wait for it to get to social media for y'all to do something. So for
Right.
him to feel comfortable
'Cause he
enough to
only
do this, let's question leadership. What the fuck y'all got
What's
going on
going
at that
on?
school?
He only did what he
Strangers.
felt was within the parameters, because y'all haven't said nothing about anything in the, you know, in the past, which is what he did mention too. He did mention that, you know, the office or whoever knows about it. But I still feel like he definitely brought it on himself, because once people was complaining on that live, TikTok don't save your lives. So from my understanding, so he, I guess, recorded his own live, saved his whatever he did, re-uploaded his live, put a voiceover on it, and said, "Let's start a pot." Well, you wanted to start a pot, and you started so
Here we
hard, you got
are.
started by
He
the
said, "Let's start a
musician.
pot."
I
I didn't
feel
know
like
that.
people had
He
already
talks about
said
stirring the
something
pot
on
in the
the
video.
original live.
Oh,
You said what?
I said, I feel like people had already said something on the original live, which is why he reposted it,
Right.
because he thought that people
Correct.
were going to be on his side, because this is something that's accepted by the other parents, by the other teachers
I
in the
think so
school.
too.
Like, I think people, you know,
Yeah.
yes, for those kids to be touching him is intimate. Intimacy doesn't have to be sexual. I also feel like being in the same classroom with the same person every day can be considered intimate, if you want to say that. Like, if it's a small group of kids, 20, like that's considered intimate. If it's a small amount of people that's in a small room with each other every day, like anything can be considered intimate. I do understand if people get paid to do hair, y'all, but I'm just saying the act of it by itself does not make it sexual, is what I mean, because that was the connotation a lot of people had to what was happening in that moment. And that's all I'm drawing reference to. I'm not saying whether it was, you know, it wasn't inappropriate for him to be doing. I'm just saying that's not alone, that's not enough for me to think he was grooming them to have sex with them later, is what I am saying. I also feel like people get y'all are weird about physical touch. A lot of y'all are. You know what I'm saying? And I get it, because people take advantage of kids all the time. So I'm not dismissing it, but I'm also saying that sometimes I feel like there's a filter that can be put on things even when it's not like that. And I'm not saying that this isn't like that, but you know, just by itself, it wasn't enough for the grooming thing. Because he could be being nice to them kids in a classroom and they would still have a crush on him. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, which is even more reason
Yeah.
for him to
Yeah,
But yeah,
ease back
yeah.
for his protection of
Mhm.
himself and how he
absolutely.
moves.
Right.
Because
I mean, can I be honest?
he learned a
It's
major lesson.
it's given, it might be it's given, not super duper senior because you smart, but like Amanda Seals, you might be, a spectrum or some shit. Like, and I'm not saying that to be dismissive. I'm just saying about the lack of awareness that I see happening with him. Like you
A
cuckoo
childish
smart.
Well, I don't
mindset.
know. I don't know. Because it's like, is it the lack of awareness and that's what it is? Or was it the fact that he was comfortable because that's the space that the school has allowed him to operate in,
Some of the shit I
on the
seen
TikTok?
online, it make me feel like it's that, but it's also him being a little,
On the spectrum.
off. He's like that
You must be
emo
thinking
video
about
I
the
saw.
emo video.
I am. I
I
am.
haven't seen it.
It just was very
I
like
mean, he
weird.
did look like very weird. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like,
I'm
it
telling
took me a
y'all.
minute actually to catch on to what was happening in the video. I was like, well, I had to keep playing it over. Like, I get it now. It took me a few times because I was so
Yes.
confused. Like, it was weird.
Yeah,
I
I'm
see what
not
you're saying.
saying he's unaware of what y'all are saying. I'm saying he's unaware of how he's coming off to people.
Mm-hmm.
Like they saying he
Gotcha.
seemed aware but didn't care. I'm like, but if that's the
No,
case,
he's
why did he get on camera and cry like that? He's
no.
not aware of
He's
how he's coming
convinced.
off.
He thinks he's correct. And he's
Yeah, it is given.
Yeah, and I think he thought he had more support than what he thought, which is why he came back
Yes.
on camera crying during that video. And it's like, are you not reading the room? It's more people on your ass than not. Why would you come on here
Mhm.
crying? They really finna dig into you now. What are you
I
Low-key,
mean,
doing?
like because
me,
them
if I
kids
was a
felt
student,
it's
I
given
would
because
have
the kids had his back. He thought that he was good. And it's like, why? And that's another thing.
right.
You're
Right.
an adult. Why would you even think that the kids having your back is enough? Like,
Right. But childish mindset. He thinks they're peers. You are
Mhm.
not peers.
Hey,
No, for real, we're
bestie.
not peers.
yeah, the bestie shit was weird to
Yeah.
me. It was weird
Yeah.
to me.
I
But a
don't
lot
know
of
if they
people were
were
making,
texting him though.
I think they were
Somebody
texting
said it
I
was
him.
thought they probably
emails.
found his social media. Well, I guess that's not good either. But I was thinking
I'm like,
they
what
probably
difference
found
does
him on
it
social
make?
media
If he was, I
and
mean, it don't
messaged
even
him. It was like,
matter.
hey,
I'm like, why does it matter? All this shit coming to your phone. Like you ain't about to
well,
go to
that's
the
true.
computer. You right here. Either way, whether it's an email or a text message or a DM, it's all right here.
They cut his email. I'm sure if he was on leave, they deactivated
Yeah,
his email.
they
So
cut the email. Yeah, they did. They locked him out the system for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would have had to been via text or social media. Thank you. Seriously, though, she says, the more he defended himself, the more he reminded me of Michael Jackson and the sleepovers. What was so important that he couldn't stop his behavior? I don't think
Okay.
children should meet the emotional needs of adults.
Agreed.
Thank you so much for
Period.
the super chat. That's a good point.
Agreed.
And whether Michael Jackson did anything or not, the optics, and that is what definitely
And
got
that's
this
what
young man messed up.
that's what I said once I saw that video of him crying. Like the making the kids, like even crying to the kids, felt like you're trying to make them feel sorry for you. And I want you
Mhm.
to stop. Because it was
Emotional manipulation.
yes.
I
Yeah.
ain't
Like
think
I
about
want you
that
to,
one.
because that's when I was like, yeah, nah, if you got fired, that's fine. I don't really care. Because it
Yep.
was the actual, like, you need to, like, in this moment as an adult, you need to pull it the fuck up and be like, I understand that, it needs to be cut and dry. It don't need to be
He gets satisfaction from these
Mhm.
children.
from
It's
the
something.
sympathy of the children. Yeah.
They stopped something before it
It
went
happened.
too far. I agree. Yes, I agree.
Gotcha. That's a really good point. The emotional manipulation. I don't know what that didn't even cross my. Gotcha. Thank you so much, Saltwater Daughter, for
But
the super chat. Mhm.
I was
I
gonna
didn't
ask,
get
would y'all
PDF
have felt
out,
the
but
way
it
if
was
it was a woman?
inappropriate.
I hate this delay shit that's
Yes,
happening today.
I've seen a lot of. I've seen a lot of videos where white black teachers have put up their videos in defense of him, showing that their students were taking down their hair. And for me, it's I don't like it. Not even just the sexual part. Because here's the thing: female teachers have been caught up in some shit too.
Yes,
When it
they
comes to
love
students,
That's
so
what I was
they
about to
can they
say.
can
13-year-old boy.
violate sexually.
Either way.
And it's been a situation with this white teacher messing with a young girl. But my thing is, it's just this. I don't like that. Like, I feel like they being used to take your damn hair down, and then you record it and you put it on your TikTok. Like I don't like that. I just feel like it's still inappropriate, whether it's a male, woman. A lot of people said if it was a gay man, this wouldn't even be an issue. Are you silly? Are you crazy? Do you know how many people do not like gay men? Do you know how they would have
Right.
took him really down through there
Hmm.
off of that? Like it would have probably,
And then
in
you
my
act
opinion,
like
been worse with
like
that one
that
than this
makes
guy.
him exempt from potentially manipulating children if he's a gay man too. Like, yeah, it'd be an issue. It'd be an issue anyway it goes, because I feel like it's looked at the lens of educator, student, and then the law. It's that simple.
Right. So yeah, I mean, just for me, I would have felt the way whoever it was. I just don't think that's cool.
If I was one of the
Just
girls in the
unprofessional as
videos,
hell.
my mama would have whooped my ass. To be
Hello,
frank, my
and
mama would have
and
whooped
really
me.
would have, because it's like you already know how we operate. What in your spirit made you feel comfortable to do that? You know that's not what we do. What made you feel so compelled? See, that's the problem, because it's giving you probably was more than likely following, trying to do what the other folks do. You can't do what everybody else doing. Absolutely not. And then I didn't like how he was saying most of the parents are aware of this or that, but that doesn't mean that those kids' parents. See, y'all, a lot, he did not, I never heard him say their parents. He said some and most. So I would hate for a teacher to ever assume that because Sarah, John, and Paul's parents said it's okay, that I'm going to say that as well. So I mean, nah, it's not a guarantee he got permission from them people family. But yeah, to answer the question, I would have felt away. Yeah. Saltwater Daughter, thank you so much for the super chat. I didn't get PDF filed, but it was inappropriate. I also think the male teacher loves kids, unicorns, good man, Savannah. Content gets him a grown woman. Oh, so you saying the content gonna get him the okay then? Well,
I mean, women do love that
okay.
shit.
Well, I'm sure he got a lot of DMs. Thank you for the super chat. And I'm sure he got a lot of support. Now he can go be he really want to be Mr. Omega. Let me stop.
I'm gonna go back to my
Um,
original statement that I always stand by, and that's that you can't trust no man with plaits.
it was the braids too. It's like you got these kids taking your hair down to go get these braids. You should have kept the plaits. But that's just where we at. Anything else on this teacher?
No.
All right.
Get some
Let's go
fucking
ahead and
therapy.
move.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a good one.
And that one boy I
Because he
know,
don't need
I
it
told you
after
I
getting
know,
drugged the way he did.
he needs some therapy. The 5'0" boy I was telling y'all about, this is him.
Mm-hmm.
Not literally, but that's how he operates. He needs some therapy too.
He needs some therapy. Deliver them from their junior high and high school days.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about this real quick. Not this one. This one. This father goes viral for pretty much jumping on his daughter's bully's dad. I guess they got him jumped. So let's see what the hell he's talking about.
7-year-old girl who had to watch me and my brothers jump her daddy after school. I'm sorry. I know that was probably a traumatizing experience for you, but we kept asking you to stop bullying my daughter and you wouldn't listen. We sent letters home. We even had a meeting with you and your parents and you wouldn't listen. So now you know your actions have consequences. And since you too young to receive those consequences, you had to watch your daddy take those consequences. Get some therapy. You'll be all right. To the 7-year-old girl who had to watch
He
me and my
gotta be
brother.
lying. Cause I know
He
like
said 7?
hell. Yes, to the 7-year-old daughter who had to watch her daddy get beat up. I told you to stop beating my daughter or messing with my daughter, bullying her. So since we couldn't get to you, we chose to get to your daddy. Now, I'm not fully opposed to parents getting with the other parents if your child is being a bully. Okay. So either somebody gonna need to get handled, all right?
Yeah.
Because kids are taking themselves out of here for being bullied. Okay. So I don't fault him for getting with the other parent, but for you to tell this child to go get some therapy, you go get some therapy for talking to this baby. Like, what is going? This has to be fake. It has to be fake.
I said, well, at first I was like, he tripping. I said, well, only because I was watching the news today. And this made me think about something going on in Dallas. in Louisville, which is a suburb. This girl was getting bullied on the bus. She was probably, I think she was 13. She was 13. She was getting bullied. Her sister one day got tired of her getting bullied, her 21-year-old sister. She boarded the bus as a student and beat up the sister's 13-year-old bully. Now she doing time. So, because I seen that today, my mindset was kind of like, well, it's, how about the adults get it in if they need to get it in? Because people are really crazy.
That's crazy. Did she get arrested?
Yeah, let me try to find it. Yeah, she did.
Because that's
I'm here for all
wild.
of that.
Look, you jump on-
All of it. I'm here for him being in a beater. I'm here for him having brothers that came with him. I'm here for the fact that we gave you multiple chances not to get your daddy ass whipped. Because essentially in my mind, if your daughter is bullying to that extent, it's because she being bullied at home. So daddy need his ass beat. But I'm also wondering, like, y'all need to check on the 7-year-old girl, because essentially girls who like, look, a 7-year-old girl that's bullying somebody is being probably abused or bullied at home. So then y'all go and beat the daddy's ass, and then it's like, okay, so is the daddy then gonna turn around and be violent towards the little girl because he got his ass beat because she was being a bully? I'm just saying. I mean, I would like to think a little
That's a good
further.
point.
So,
That's a good
even
point.
though I'm here for it, not even that she gonna need therapy, y'all need to make sure that the little girl ain't out here getting her ass beat like, she a grown ass man. Because a lot of times that be why people be bullies.
That's wild. Did y'all agree with the jumping, or you think it should have been 1-on-1? Because he looked like he about, well, I don't know what the other daddy looked
One-on-one
like to
for
know
sure.
if he
I mean,
should have got jumped on.
a one-on-one, like your brother should have been there to make sure his brothers ain't jumping.
I guess so.
It's
Okay.
given we was in gang life. That's what that is. Like, we was gonna stomp this nigga out together as a family because that's what we do.
Oh my. Well, there's that. Somebody said I need to watch the other video. I don't know what other video. I ain't see the other video, but it's okay. We about to continue to keep going because we got to get into our TV talk, of course. So make sure that you guys are liking up the video as we go ahead and switch over and get into that. All right, y'all. We are about to talk about Summer House Martha's Vineyard. My goodness. A few things happened that we definitely got to get into. Okay. First things first. Amir's girlfriend. How we feeling about her and her
That's the white
inserting
lady.
herself? You said white lady?
That's the white lady. And I would like for them not to discuss things in mixed company, but I can tell that the black people of Martha's Vineyard, they want to be liked by white people. They want to have camaraderie with white people. So even though she came in disrespecting y'all and acting like she couldn't party with y'all because that was beneath her, and that's not type of energy she's on. Really, she's jealous of Jordan, and essentially, Amir is a punk ass bitch. I'm sorry, Amir, but ever since you allowed those two black women, to get into an altercation just because you was too pussy to say that you put the dog's clothes in the dryer and you stood there with, and watched them get into it like that, you didn't do shit. Yeah, you a punk ass bitch. And then after this shit with Nick and your old lady, your lady told you, and you ain't stay not one time, stay out of that. They ain't got nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they've already talked about it. Leave it alone. No. And now you sitting up there getting on the internet talking about you not coming back if this white lady don't come back with you, sir.
Bye. Here's the door.
Good day.
Please know it's a good day. Let's hear him say that.
Season 3. This is where I'm gonna end. I don't know. It depends on if we do get a reunion. If we're able to clear a lot of that air, because this vacation, if it's like a domino effect and the next domino is going to be bigger than season 2 was, I don't think we'll have an enjoyable vacation. And I don't think the dynamic of the house is going to be there to where,
Wow.
you know, I'm going to have a good time and my partner is going to have a good time, because at the end of the day, I want her to be there with me this time.
Right.
And that's how I know I'll have the most fun.
Yeah.
Just because like it's fun to party with your friends,
right?
But like real adult vacations, like everyone brings their significant others, no one bats an eye about it, and you have a great time.
Yes.
So if all of those things line up, absolutely, I would love to be back for a season 3. If they don't, then I've just got some heavy thinking, because like we talked about, I've got to make sure that if this does end one day, that I'm good, and that the family that I'm planning on having one day is going to be taking care of it.
Chaba. Bye, Amir, baby.
I'm sorry. What a family being taken care of got to do with this?
Can I get a clown mask?
I don't
know. Go ahead, Necey.
Yeah, this episode was really exhausting. I didn't think he was that bad before. I wasn't even tripping about the Mariah and the laundry thing up until this point. What got me was whenever he basically was telling Nick, like, don't act like this or I'm gonna tell on you. That's the vibe that I got when they showed the clip of him sitting with the men, and he said some word that wasn't a real word. But anyway, go. Nick is a grown man. I didn't like the way that Amir handled that. I also didn't like how he went up to Nick and said, "You're mad, but you're not mad at her, right?" It was kind of giving me like two messy girls. Like, you really down, gossiping with your girl like that, wanting her to expose Nick. It was weird to me. And I hope he don't come back, honestly. I heard online that Martha's Vineyard is actually casting for single men. So I think you might have talked yourself right out of a spot, Amir. But I mean, as long as your family is handled, and he talking like it's a ring on her finger. When they asked her what's next in y'all relationship, and she said that she was gonna join the damn team, like y'all was co-workers, and you sitting up here messing up your coin behind her, boy.
I don't think he's I don't think he's her ideal guy. And I think when that guy comes along, she will drop him like a bad habit. Yeah. I don't like her. So I would love for them to not come back. And I don't really like how he was playing the role, like he got power like that to say, oh, if she doesn't come back, I'm not coming back. And I'm like,
we don't give a fuck.
You know what? Maybe it's maybe it's the kiss he gave to Andy that makes him feel like he's more up there to where he's highly favored of some sort. But I definitely don't want to see her come back. I know she came in and shook up the house just a little bit, but I wasn't featuring her. And I loved how Tasia was just like, girl, I'm not going to talk to you. I loved it. But they were wrong, especially Bria, for how that conversation went with Nick trying to insinuate he was on to something else, and then gonna lie and say she ain't saying that, she ain't had nothing to do with it, but you said if anybody tried him, he will really commit and go all the way type thing. But you was also the same person that wanted him to be your cuddle buddy or something. Didn't she ask him to sleep in the bed with her or something like that? So you was the same person. So what if he would have brought that to Simon?
I'm clicking the wrong button.
And why did she sit up there and say that Simon didn't protect her, and she wanted to bring up all this racism and stuff? But you still with him.
I'm tired of and continues to be with him after a whole season of this shit. She a glutton for punishment. I don't even. That's what I'm saying. After the last season, you back with him this time. And then hold up, somebody said something in the comments that I won't comment on.
Natalie being Cuban.
No, not her being Cuban. Damn, I think.
When did he flirt with her? That question.
Yes. About flirting with Bria. He flirted with Bria when they was in the car. When they was in the car, he was like, Bria, it's gonna be me and you. It's gonna be me and you. She was like, okay, you gotta take me to Nobu.
Yeah.
That was flirtation. You can act like it's not, but it's flirtation. He was flirting with all of them. And honestly, I don't see anything wrong with him flirting. I wish he would have just kept it a buck instead of acting like a fucking victim. I wish he would have just turned around and been like, yes, I flirt when I get a little drunk. I'm sorry. Everyone here is beautiful. I don't mean to make anyone feel uncomfortable, but we're all drinking. Shanice is showing me her titties.
Yep.
I'm leaving Jordan alone.
That's what I be thinking is unfair. I think you got a point, and that's what I be thinking is unfair. They do certain shit, the women, when they're drunk, and then when he do
Yes.
stuff, oh, he's the problem. It's like,
Yeah.
Shanice, everybody don't want to see your little breasts and your butt all the time and your cootie. Like everybody don't
Yeah,
want to
not
see
your
that.
But
Mhm.
also, like y'all have laid down in beds around these men before, and nobody has ever done anything to you. And that's not to say that they wouldn't, but I'm just
Right.
saying,
Mhm.
like, don't do that. Like, don't even because I feel like when they had this conversation before about him being touchy, and every time they showed him, he's like touching somebody's shoulder. I'm like,
Yes. Noelle was like, "Oh, his arm was draped over my breast." Like, why don't y'all just have that conversation? I feel like Tasia very much knows that's his personality.
I
I
think
feel like
so.
I know that's
Mm,
his personality.
yeah.
So for me, I'm not bothered. The reason why I kind of felt for him was because when they gossiped about it, it was almost like they was trying to make it seem like he was a creep. And they know that he's the person in the house where they want that. It to me, it seems like they want that attention.
Mhm.
Let me show my titties. Let me twerk a little bit because I know Nick gonna say something. Shanice going as far as, oh, I'm gonna fuck you tonight. Like,
Yes,
you remember
it's
she
gonna
said
be me
that?
and you tonight,
Oh yeah,
Nick.
when he had them tattoos on.
Yeah,
Yes,
she
I
literally
remember
said, I'm gonna
that.
fuck you tonight.
She
So I'm
did.
just like, for they all sat up there and played dumb when he addressed them. But no, keep that same. It's just, it's pretty distasteful to see a bunch of black women sit up here and make it seem like he was almost aggressive about,
Yes,
or he was the person who was, pursuing them in a way that was inappropriate when they could have just had a discussion with him. It was playful, was innocent, and I don't think he was out to get any of them. So it's just
right.
irresponsible.
Yeah, I agree.
1000%. But I am enjoying the season. I hope they get a new one. We shall see. Summer
Yeah.
can go. Amir and Natalie. No, is her name Natalie? Ain't this his girlfriend? They can go.
Yeah.
I'm
And
gonna just keep
and
calling her the white
Jordan,
girl
I'm
because
teetering with
it
you,
upsets
the white
people.
girl.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep calling her the white girl because
And
it
I
upsets people.
mm,
She's white, honey. Deal with it.
I didn't know what the hell that lady was. Honestly, it definitely was giving a bit of white for
It was giving
sure.
no block.
But
It was giving no block. I know block.
mhm. She like a
Y'all,
I
she's
did
Puerto
so
y'all
Rican. I
see
know
sexy. I
block.
Winter?
don't know. I just don't.
Winter called her
Say what?
Karen Lopez.
Not
Winter
Karen
called her
I
Karen
saw
Lopez.
Lopez on Twitter.
that. Hilarious.
That's funny
I
as
was
fuck.
like, I can't.
Shout out to Winter. Y'all may not like Winter, but I
Yeah,
like Winter.
I like one or two.
Like,
Can
like
we
me and
talk
Winter
about
be.
winter real quick?
Can we
Yeah.
like? I feel like people don't
Yeah,
understand. Like me and Winter be knowing each other personal business. So like, I fuck with her. Like, just saying.
she's really an open book, and we did a really good interview. Over y'all can see it over on Bondy's channel. It was really good. I enjoyed Winter. I know she enjoyed us because we even sat on the we continued to talk for another hour even
And we was
after we ended.
on. We was on early too. Like we was on talk.
Oh
Y'all
yeah,
know
we
we was.
were. We talked for about 40 minutes before we even got started.
That's
And then
usually
we
how I
did the
go with
interview for about
Winter.
2 hours. And then we talked again for another hour. Like it was fun. And we was
And
like,
we had to
dang,
let
we
her
wish
get
we was up
off.
there in what DC up in her area. We all could have just went out for
Yes.
drinks. Really,
We
Hell
need to go to
yeah.
brunch.
it was a
And
We
good
tell
really
y'all
time.
my
I like
best
could.
winter.
friend live in DC. We need to go up there. Can y'all imagine the kiki we would have over champagne?
Oh, I
Oh
would
my
love it.
gosh.
I would love it. Because you know, motherfuckers always tell
Yeah.
you more of their business in person than they do online.
Okay, bitch. I didn't tell you this on StreamYard,
Listen,
but
we met now, so we cool.
Okay.
Nah, for real.
Yes, that was a good one. I enjoyed her. So y'all make sure y'all check out that interview, child, over there
I
on
like her ability
Bundy's
to put everything
channel.
out. I like her ability to put everything
Mhm.
out on the table because she been like that. I don't, I think people don't really pay attention because they think the way she comes off as fake to some people. But to me
Mhm.
personally, I feel like she's been the same way this entire time as far
yeah.
as, who would pick me?
Yeah, and I
See, I feel like that's what I'm saying. They don't get it. I don't think they really get it if they think that Winter's a pick
was
me.
like, what is a pick me?
Not at all.
I don't get
Yeah.
that vibe.
Mm-mm.
Not at all.
I don't get
Like, not if you really talk to her.
Joy's the pick me. Joy's
Who?
the pick me.
Yeah. But that's the one
But I
people
feel
can't see.
like
Mm.
a lot of people, yeah, they can't see. A lot of people didn't watch Ready to Love. Some of y'all may have. Y'all may have had a different opinion, but mine hasn't wavered on her.
Didn't like her then,
and
don't like her now.
yeah, I think she would be more of that than Winter. But girl, Winter that was just a good. That was a good. I'm not gonna say a lot
She
because
was
I don't
spraying all
know
kind
what
of
I
tea.
can and cannot say. But
Right. Like, what did we discuss before the live? What did we discuss on the
what
live?
we
Let me just
watching
not say
ain't
shit.
Listen, I know.
Let me not say shit before I say something there.
Because I did when she had brought up, hey, y'all heard what I said? Let me be messy. Because you had mentioned Heavenly before we went live. So what had happened? I just wanted,
Ooh,
Buddy, when you did that, I said,
that was funny.
I mean,
I was like, oh,
man, look, Heavenly know what the fuck it is, man. Like Heavenly know what the fuck it is. She be all right. And the
Nigga was
fuck?
like, what? You say what?
somebody got to do
Come
it.
on, say,
Shit.
you say, huh?
And y'all know it. I don't give a fuck. So let's do it. Come on, let's
I
talk about
said, Winter said,
it. It's okay. It's okay. She ain't gonna fight you. It's all right.
That
Let me
was
not
too
lie.
funny. I was like, no, she didn't. They'll put Winter on the spot like that. That was too
Hold up.
funny.
I am gonna tell y'all something. She did say that y'all may not know, child. She said Joy was bisexual and Joy was out there spreading it wide and low. And I'ma just tell y'all that I told y'all that Joy was bi. I told y'all because I know hoes when I see hoes, right? I told y'all that. So Joy out here going both ways. That's why I said the whole situation. I don't think nothing happened between her and Ashley, but I think if she would have been a better friend, eventually something would have happened. Because Ashley can say what she wants to, but anyway, yeah, but they said Joy was out there fucking all of the sports members. Yeah, that's what they said out there. They say, I don't know what's going on with her and Clifton, because maybe Clifton might be out there in the street and getting people phone numbers and shit. Somebody said they unfollowed each other, but they following each other now. I don't know what's going on. All I know is I said it. So now what? What y'all gonna do? Anyway. This is what we heard. We don't know. This is what they said. They said that. This is what the people in the DMV be saying about Joy. Okay, the Ready to Love people and all of them over there. That's what they had said. And they can say I said it. Y'all can say y'all can say it wasn't Jamie and it wasn't Necey. Y'all can say it was Bondy. Because I didn't say this for a fact. I said this what they said. Y'all heard what I said, right? I said this what they said. I didn't say if it happened or not. But I mean, you was on Ready to Love, running up to niggas you don't know, busting it wide, wrapping your legs around them. Would I be surprised for you to be out here? Yeah, y'all. That was the moment that was the moment I realized I didn't like her. Because it was like, why she doing that? They ain't even been knowing each other for a few days.
I remember you saying, yep, I remember that. Because we all reviewed that together and separately.
So, allegedly, she's a hoe. I don't know. Do your thing.
Well, can we talk about more? So really, these people are not hoes, so we're not even gonna call them like that.
Segue, Jamie. Can we talk about more hoes?
I was thinking of Love and Marriage, and I'm like, that's not nice because everybody's not giving that on this show. So make sure you guys are coming in, supporting the channel. We are about to talk about what y'all been dying to talk about. Like it's really something to talk about over there, but we gonna get into it anyway, okay?
Make sure they like the video. We need a reset.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like this shit. We doing the live. I'm putting us in danger.
All right, we are back and we are here to talk about this show, child. Let's get into some things. How are you guys feeling? What are we on? What, episode 3? Is this episode 3? I think it's episode 3.
2.
Child, I'm rushing everything. Everything. This year is rushing. Embarrassing. Well, a whole lot did not happen But there are really two things that I wanted to bring up. The fact that Mel told Kiki, thank you for your services. Okay. Kiki, you played yourself and treat yourself up out your spot. I don't really know what else to tell you, but you did it to yourself. Shame on Mel and Stormy for even sitting up there supporting and having your back and thinking that you were a different person when Tisha actually was like, she ain't really what y'all think. And then next thing you know, you sitting over there telling the tea about the show, exposing the show, the tea. And you know, and I feel like Wanda did that too, I feel. And when Wanda would tell too much information, they got Wanda the hell up off the show.
Did Kiki spill the tea or did Kiki mama spill the tea?
You're right. Or did Kiki mama spill the tea? Same thing that was happening with Tisha mama spilling the tea. Kiki know what she did. I feel like Kiki knew exactly what she was doing.
Hell yeah.
And I don't feel like it was all her mom. I wouldn't be surprised if it was her too. And you don't treat yourself about your spot. Oh, you think it was solely Kiki?
Hell yes. It was solely Kiki, because what I felt like we got out of this was Kiki had a rehearsal for the excuse that she was going to tell Mel with Stormy. So when she sat down with Stormy, that was simply a rehearsal to see what hole Stormy was going to poke through. And then when Stormy poked through all them holes, she said, but at the end of the day, it falls on me. I'm responsible. It doesn't matter what the details are. No, it don't matter what the details are, because you the one who told the blogs, in my opinion. And then when she went to Mel with it, it was a failed performance. I think Kiki went to the blogs. I do think that she's jealous of Tisha. I do think Tisha is full of shit. Two things can be true. And I do think that she stole a measuring tape at a Home Depot. I think she did. The three things can be true. Yeah, I think so. I think that whenever Kiki came on the show and ended up becoming Tisha's like arch enemy by way of Mel, people really gave Kiki benefit of the doubt. Like, she could be trusted. She ain't on drugs no more. Maybe she not. But I could never trust her fully. And I think we're just seeing a situation where she crossed Mel. So now everybody's just like, yeah, I don't know. Kiki, you played yourself. I think that's the last of Kiki we're going to see.
I'm glad. When she walked away with her umbrella, I was like, farewell, good day. We bid you adieu. With your allegedly tweaking ass. I'm sorry. she was tweaking all that season, and everybody could pretend like she wasn't all they want to.
They was mad at me.
She was absolutely tweaking. Low key, she was tweaking in this episode. Did y'all catch when not this
I
episode?
Was thinking
last,
that when she was
talking to Stormy. Well, when she to me specifically
when
she was talking to Stormy, because there was a moment when they obviously edited something out that was that her and Amin was discussing, and she was like, he ain't gonna never tell on them men. Okay. But yeah, I'm sorry, I don't like Kiki. I feel like the time for Kiki to say something was that season that they thought that they could do without Mel on the show. That was the time for Kiki to say something. Y'all remember when they got into the big argument and Marceau was acting like
at the family reunion?
Yes,
with the cousin Bernard.
Yes. To me, that was the time for her to say something. She didn't say shit. So at the end of the day, after that, we didn't give a fuck about nothing you had to say. And I think she knew she fumbled it. So then she tried to come in again. And I think people kept blaming Mel, but I'm like, why y'all blame Mel for these things? Fuck Tisha. Fuck Tisha and Marceau.
Kiki even tried to blame Mel, and I was confused by that because I didn't how is it Mel's fault? You came on a trip you was uninvited on. What did you want her to do?
You the one that threw a drink on your whole ass cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl,
and nobody wanted you around. You stayed
because you wanted to be on camera so bad. But the time that it was time, you wasn't ready. So peace out, bitch. Go get yourself together. Go take care of yourself. Go figure out why, whatever you and your husband got going on over there. Because y'all got some weird shit going on between y'all. The energy is weird. I mean, not weird. Yeah. Y'all give them older couples that's not leaving each other, but y'all don't like each other neither. And y'all probably cheating on each other.
Helped her fake pass that drug test? Really? No, I don't know about that.
I think she just passed the drug test that time.
I also think whatever she was on might be out of your system in 72 hours, like a lot of other, uppers. I'll say it like that. Because she gives uppers. She doesn't give downers. She was, I'm just saying, like her energy feel like I'm tweaking on some upper shit, not on some downer shit. And a lot of uppers get out your system within 72 hours. So she might have passed the drug test and then turned right around and been on some shit. We don't know. Either way, Kiki was pointless at this point. Once Tisha and Marcel decided that they were going to box her out, then that's it.
That
I
was done.
mean, am I saying it? I said she looked like she was tweaking. Like, do I need to say allegedly on somebody looking like they tweaking?
No, you don't have to say that. That's your
Like,
opinion. You
it's
didn't
just
say
my
she was for
opinion. I
sure.
don't know for a fact. I don't know for a fact anything. This is all conjecture.
Thank you. Paralegally exhausted. Kiki was a disaster waiting to happen from day one. She was on a recording. It was her. She was on a recording. Thank you for the super chat. She was on a recording telling T?
Yes. I think whoever the blogger is that she told her shit to, they recorded her.
And then you
And
gonna
then
still
you
get in them
lied.
ladies' face and lie? Ooh, girl, you done.
you
Mel
played
was like,
yourself.
I'm not filming with your ass no more.
Hang it up. Flat screen. Sorry.
Embarrassing, ma'am. Tisha and Kimmy sat down with Sonny, wanting to get the tea. What were y'all thoughts about that? Tisha was really vocal. I feel like that's the most vocal I've ever seen Tisha be. Like BITCH, that's shady. Like, I don't even know if I want you around my husband. Sonny said, baby, don't nobody want them men. Now that's hilarious. She didn't want y'all men, but she definitely wanted Destiny's. But see, that one was a man that was not married. Okay. But that was an interesting sit down. I mean, they cool with Destiny. I wasn't really tripping off them going in or asking more questions to Sonny, because I just feel like Sonny fake. Not completely fake, but when it comes to this storyline with Destiny, I just feel like she's not being 100% honest.
I wasn't tripping either. That was probably one of the few times I like really agreed with Tisha, but I agree. She got beside herself talking about she could have been one of our husbands. Girl, don't nobody want y'all.
Nobody wants thick thighs. Nobody wants thick thighs, but the women he's already cheating on you with, Tisha. Nobody wants Marceau, but the women already cheating with that nigga. If they still doing it, because I do feel like he may have stopped since people started investigating him. But at the end of the day, Maurice and Marceau ain't shit, and I don't care. Y'all know I've been rewatching the season from season 1. I have never rewatched the show, y'all. I've never rewatched it since it happened. I do not like these people even more. I'm still looking at the shit like, because you know everybody was like, Mel's not innocent, and Mel was trying to destroy other people's marriages, and I was just like, she didn't do enough as far as I'm concerned, because I would have dragged Marceau and Maurice down to the motherfucking pavement, especially because Kimmy and Tisha had an attitude towards Mel that whole first season that, oh, you thought you had the blueprint, but your husband is cheating, and so that's why we're doormats because our men aren't going to cheat on us, but you think you got an upper hand and they're cheating, that he's cheating on you. That's what they did to her. That's why she brought up Tisha and Marceau. Like, bitch, please stop acting like it's my fault that this nigga's cheating on me. Yeah, I chose myself. I chose my career. I chose my business. Now, what's your excuse? Because you ain't choose yourself, Kimmy. You ain't choose yourself, Tisha. So why they cheating on y'all with big back bitches in Atlanta just like my nigga was? Like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. If it was me, it would have been worse. And I don't give a fuck how anybody feels about it. I would have brought out receipts. I would have posted the shit on the internet. I would have posted everything I had, since everybody want to act like, oh, I'm lying. I'd have been a bad guy that day, because y'all keep trying to forgive Martell no matter how much he the bad guy.
Exactly. So one of my subscribers brought up a good point, which was, even though I agree with Tisha, the point was the audacity of Kimmy and Tisha to sit there and talk to Sonny about girl code when they ain't never had girl code when it came to Mel.
They did not
that's
tell
the
her.
point. Never, ever, never, ever, ever did they give a fuck about Mel. Even into this season, I'm not aware that they give a fuck. It's clear that Marceau and Maurice don't give a fuck. They said that basically in the scene with Martell.
Y'all, I literally just finished watching a scene. Y'all remember when Mel came to Black when they were still building it with her little black dress on, and she stormed in and got into it with Marceau? And she was getting into it with him because over the break, he had talked about her mom and that sex tape, remember? And so she came together, but we forgot the fact that he had a restraining order on Martell. I forgot about that shit. I was like, so you mean to tell me this season we're about to have a scene with you talking to Mel about how you the one that married him, when after season 1 you had a restraining order against Martell because he was harassing you. So it's
I don't remember
crazy.
that.
Yes, y'all.
Me
I've been reading.
neither. Wow.
Yes, y'all. It's crazy. He had a restraining. He said Martell kept calling him, and literally he was telling Mel and anybody that could, Cedric, anybody that could listen, Martell is out of pocket. Martell was harassing me, so I got a restraining order against his ass. So I'm like, so how you gonna sit here in season 8 and tell Mel that it's her fault? Like, he did the same thing to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't take it.
The secrets. It's the Brotherhood of Secrets.
It is because he kept saying
Interesting.
that in season 2. He
Yeah,
kept
he's like,
talking
I
about how
chose
y'all
not to
y'all
get a
little y'all ain't say
divorce.
nothing.
I've
Yes.
been through it. I chose not to get a divorce. Do you want to? Do you really want to talk about your marriage? I
Oh,
don't think so.
yeah,
'Cause they-
he done did something. Yeah, because I'm looking at something now that says Marceau doesn't regret filing police report against the Holts.
Hmm.
But who are the Holts though? Because they say the Holts, but I don't think Mel was included.
That this is on the OWN network, on the show. So I guess this is let me play a little bit of it. If it doesn't try to, flag or anything.
It just kills me how Martell does all of this stuff and now he's the victim.
Oh, I'm gonna play the
I don't understand it either.
Interesting.
Like, call me talking all this craziness, and then and the thing about it is, all I did was follow the truth. I don't have no restraining order against him. I even, as a matter of fact, and I told him this, and he knows this very clearly. Like, I don't got no restraining order against him, nothing.
Tisha looking like you sure you don't?
You feel bad for filing the police report?
Hell no. Why the that's irresponsible if I didn't.
To hell no.
So why you upset and not coming and not participating?
You said what?
Why do you think he's so upset and not coming and not participating?
You better drink your water.
I don't think for other people. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't
Not
tell.
assume. We're just whatever he told Kimmy is the reason.
I mean, I'm just thinking, I go by off my observation. My observation is the fact that he didn't come because he says or whatever. I'm with whatever. Fine, don't come. I can't judge what he does. But it's just funny to me in my mind is that he's acting like he's acting like
You did something to him?
that I did something to him. And it's like, no, these are your own actions, buddy. And every one of your actions have conclusions. If he called me tomorrow and said the same thing, I'd do the exact same thing.
Oh, snap. Not me about to sit up here and watch the show, child. Let me mute. The next one was about to be Tisha and Mel about to have the conversation about the police report that ended up being filed. So I don't know. It sounds like he didn't have him on one. Hold on one second. Uh-oh. Let's bring that back.
To my event, and I'm happy that we're really able to let the guys handle their things, and we stay focused on us. So
For now, we've been able to.
yeah, no,
Hopefully it stays that way.
No, it's gonna stay that way.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, even coming out here today, Martell really wasn't checking for me coming, feeling like you're gonna be out with people who filed a police report on me. You know what I'm saying?
He had
And
a
so
reason to. That's what I'm saying. Martell has to learn how to take responsibility for his action. He keep trying to blame things on other people. Marcel did not just file a police report on you just for fun. You threatened him, so he felt the need to protect himself and his family.
Didn't she just say that we need to let the guys stay with the guys and us work on us? Like, she just said that. What I'm about to do, I'm about to take the damn olive branch I gave her and pop upside the head with it, because, girl, you going all over the place in your mind. Make up your mind.
Whew, all right. So
I want to say they kept trying to make Mel responsible for everything that Martell did, because Tisha was doing that. And like, Tisha, what do you want her to do? Like, Go ahead, Jamie. I can't. This is why I still don't like them to this day, and nobody's gonna change my mind about how I felt about it back then. Now that I've rewatched it,
And it's just real interesting to me that this looks like it's from season 1, maybe 2, maybe season 2, and nothing has really changed. Like, we still at a place where Martell does not know how to take accountability for his actions, and we still at a place where Miss Marlene gonna uphold him in all of his function. And it gets on my nerves so much. I hate it. It's always my baby, this or that. Like, he just don't do anything wrong, and he
wait.
literally be. And you know what? Did y'all see how he sat and talked to his mama about the police report? I mean, about the charges, and made it
Yeah.
seem like he ain't do nothing,
Over
and
a
then
text
came out and said, I
message?
mean, I did send. There was something that went. I did send something with it.
Listen though,
Boy.
I was just rewatching this episode, right? So it was the episode when before this scene right here that you showed us, but it was when Martell was talking to Miss Marlene, and Miss Marlene was like, "This is why we liked Miss Marlene at first, because she was like, I know you still cheating. I know you still cheating. I don't believe you." And she was like, and she started crying. She was like, "That girl not gonna keep dealing with your mess."
Oh yeah.
Like she was on it. But I think
I
that
remember that.
yes, and I think for a minute it wasn't until they actually divorced, and I think he might have moved in with Miss Marlene. But to me, I sometimes feel like Miss Marlene is scared of Martell because before she used to low key be on Mel's side a lot of the time. And it wasn't until like almost, I want to say more recently, that I feel like she'd be like, "Nah, she needs to leave you alone." Like she just go along with anything he say. But he does shit to, I think, make Miss Marlene stressed out. Like, remember that time he wanted, I think it might have been the shit with Ariane. He wanted her to watch the kids, and she was like, "I'm not watching the kids," and he got mad at his mama. And they hadn't been talking, and he kind of talked about being upset with her. Like, I feel like Miss
He talked
Marlene
about
is,
it to the therapist.
yes, I feel like Miss Marlene is scared of Martell.
I don't think she's scared. I think she just feel bad for him. I think she was talking all that shit before, like, yeah, Mel gonna leave, probably never thinking Mel was gonna leave. And then once she did and she saw how hurt he was, she felt bad for him more than she felt bad for Mel. It's insane.
Thank you for the super chat, QT and Keisha L. According to Mrs. Marlene, he's a good man, Savannah. Thank you for the super chat. With Miss Marlene, I feel like she kind of switched up on Mel because because Mel then made him her problem again by separating herself from him, going over there to your mama, and now he's your problem. You deal with him. And I feel like that probably has something to do with why she decided to, part of what Necey said. And then also, now he's my problem. Like, you could have kept your family together, whatever. So I think that's part of the reason why Miss Marlene switched up. Was there anything else that happened on the show, though, that we cared to talk about? I mean, I think that was it.
This episode, besides the Sunny situation, Tisha talking to Sunny and Kimmy, we said that Kimmy and Tisha ain't never had no girl codes. How they gonna talk to Sunny? First of all, Sunny look like a cone head. That shit is hilarious to me. Like, whenever I've seen the cone heads back in the day.
She makes me think of an Ethiopian. I wonder if she may be Ethiopian.
That's her trying to be nice. I was thinking, no,
I know, but it was on the heels of Bondy saying conehead.
Like,
So
no,
I was like,
because she giving a lot of forehead. But let me tell you something. And I felt like this since the beginning. I can't feel too bad because at the end of the day, then people got married. Even if this lady is a delusional pick-me, and she told me she was delusional when she said she ain't know how people was gonna respond to her. Bitch, how long you been on Love and Marriage Huntsville as a producer for you not to know how these people act about this show? You sound delusional. Then you said that Destiny was a side chick. So you mean to tell me Destiny was a side chick and you've decided to enter into a relationship with a man that got a whole bunch of different women and he color his beard? Bitch, you stupid. You stupid. You want to get cheated on.
And he put a T at the end of scene. He said "saint" 4 times. And tell me when you stop going to school.
Ooh, I was just about to say super duper senior. It's giving super duper senior. So yeah,
I do want to hear from Sunny though. Because I feel like there's simple things that were not answered. Carlos showed his podcast in the episode, but the thing I want to know is, when did y'all meet? Did y'all ever meet while she was friends with Destiny, or was it more so of a like every time he on FaceTime with Destiny, you know, you in the background? Like, that's a simple question that I felt like we didn't get answered at all.
What was the question again?
How did Sonny and Moses meet? Like, yes, we know it's by way of Destiny, but were y'all interacting through Destiny? Did you see him in person every time you saw Destiny? Did you see him on FaceTime, or was
That's
it
a good
like
question.
you knew of Moses? Like, it's questions that they're not answering at all.
Yeah, because I'm not sure. I would think probably FaceTime. She knew something, or either she knew something about his appearance enough, either by way of maybe it was on FaceTimes or whatever, enough to where when she went back to a event back at home, he was there at that event, and she bumped into him and said, "Oh, that's Destiny Man." So then she FaceTime. I guess he spoke to her, or whatever. She FaceTime Destiny or called Destiny, and him and
They
Destiny
called her
chatted for a
Megamind.
second, then got off the phone, and then, oh my,
I can't unsee
and
it. I
then
can't unsee it. I'm sorry.
that was it. But I think that she said that he got her number as well from one of her cousins because he was into real estate and learned that she was in real estate too. And so he used that as an angle to like connect with her. So that's kind of how they got kicked
I'm gonna
off.
just say I don't like Sonny. I don't like Moses. I think they're both snakes. But I also don't feel bad for fraud ass Destiny, because Destiny, we were questioning what the fuck was going on with you and Martell for the longest. So you was giving bottom bitch. So I'm not really running, skipping, and jumping to see you as a victim in a situation with a man that seems to be a hoe. Like, you had your time with him, it didn't work out. He moved on to, Superhead, Mega Mind, whatever the fuck you want to call a conehead looking ass lady. But the conehead looking at, conehead bitch lying about y'all not being friends. Cause how you giving a bitch money and they not your friend? Like, you a snake. But Tisha, baby, you're a snake too. And you and Kimmy, y'all should know about being snakes behind some dick. Cause if there's anything y'all gonna do, is snake a woman over some dick. If there's anything y'all gonna do, think about it. Even when you think about Kiki and Tisha relationship, something makes me feel like, as much as Kiki and Tisha seem like assholes to each other, they probably would still be cool if it wasn't for Marceau. Like, they seem to have like a love-hate, because when I think about it, a lot of it was like, Kiki ain't shit. Please don't get me wrong. But I also feel like they would have found a way to kind of do that love-hate relationship thing instead of just cutting each other off. Because they had that when they were younger. Even if they weren't getting along, it was like, we're not getting along, but then we back cool. We're not getting along, then we back cool. Not to say that that's healthy or anything, but Marceau isolates Tisha. So sometimes I feel like he causes issues in her relationships with other women on purpose, so she won't trust other women. So she won't ever trust what anybody says except for him. Because your mama done said some shit, your cousin done said some shit, and Mel done said some shit. Kimmy act like she ain't say no shit, and she just put her head in the air and close her eyes and act like she ain't hear nothing. But I just kind of feel like, Marceau does a lot of work to keep Tisha isolated out, not having good relationships with other women. It's also her fault, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Thank you, Keisha L, for the super chat. He probably used to slide Marlene money before the divorce. Oh, gotcha. Thank you for the super chat. With Sonny, you wanted that man, now you got him. I feel like Moses is an opportunist. And I feel like he was trying to use Destiny, and Destiny didn't necessarily allow it because she didn't want people in her business. And you saw an opportunity with Sonny, but you used the situation of her being in real estate to not really showcase the fact that you're seeking clout a bit. That's what I think about you. And another reason why I feel like you ain't shit, and I've said this before, is because your name starts with an M. And it's giving Martell, Maurice, Marceau. So, yeah. And a lot of what you said and what Sonny said is sounding like Martell. So, we hate to see it, but that's what it's given. Anything else on these people? What's wrong?
I wanted to ask y'all opinion on this comment I just saw, and I want to know how y'all feel. Waist Beats by
Okay.
Bree said, well, I don't know. Because I stand and ride or die for my brothers, and they be wrong. I tell them, but hell, they grown. I meet all hoes.
I don't get him.
So is it like
Ride or
you
die for
know
my
they be
brother.
yeah, so it's like you know they be out here fucking over these women, but you don't never say nothing, and you just say, you just like, oh girl, he love you. And then he ain't shit. But then you tell him behind closed doors, hey nigga,
Oh,
you
the
ain't
I
shit.
meet all hoes. Does that mean
That
you meet
means
all the hoes
all
they
of
fucking with?
yes.
And you not saying nothing?
Yeah.
Waist breed, not you be over there. No. You be the one that be like, oh, he really like you. Oh, you cute.
That's what I was
Knowing you just
thinking.
met the other lady.
Girl, that's what we
Crazy,
do.
Missy.
Yeah,
She
and I
said,
Tell me
tell
you
yeah.
them.
And I
ain't.
said,
Tell me you ain't got no sisters. Tell me you ain't got no sisters. You's the only
oh,
child.
she said she tells them about each other. And they
So
still
what
stay.
riding and
Oh, I
dieting
do. I
mean
tell the
though?
women and they say, okay, my bad, Brie. I
No.
misunderstood.
Because what
Tell
does
the women.
riding and dying mean then? Because to me, it feel like
Mm.
you over there betraying something in order to be there for them. And now you trying to clean it up in the comments and tell us you tell them too. And they stay. And I believe you that at some point they find out and they stay. But I don't think you be the one that be telling them. I think they find out because your brother probably sloppy. I'm just wondering because that
She
would just
said
I just wouldn't do
brothers.
that. I would be like, don't bring that shit around me if you don't want me to say nothing. Because I'm not about to fake the funk for you. So don't do that.
I know that's real.
Like be single, my nigga. Don't put me in your lies.
I had to tell one of my brothers, I ain't trying to meet him. Don't bring him around. I don't want to meet him. No, thank you.
Right.
No,
If they hoes, they
won't
don't
even
need to
give me
meet me.
that. I'm good.
Like
I
just
don't
have
need to
fun
meet
with
him.
them women. Let them experience you. You experience them, but they don't need to come to the house. They don't need to meet us. Like why you bringing
Don't
random
need.
people up? Bitches that's gonna be
Don't
mad
even know
fucking
how
up
long they
cars.
gonna last.
Listen. She gonna be
Don't meet me.
outside the family house keying everybody call at Thanksgiving. Fuck your whole
She says, "Oh
family,
no."
Dwayne.
She says, "Oh no, I'm 46. My brother was married to my BFF for 30 years, and it was back and forth. I've been through it. Like nigga, no." And she was doing it too. I was like, "I'm done." But you said you meet all the hoes.
I had to throw my hands up. This sounds like some mess. Sounds like you need to email us at
Okay, and let us
oohladiesfirstpanel@gmail.com.
know
Look,
what's
I
really
was thinking the
hood.
same thing. Like, please email us. We ain't gonna tell who name. Just send it. Send more.
Okay,
That
because
was
we like
interesting.
the mess.
That's messy. 1000%. That was definitely messy. Okay. Let's go ahead. I think we're done with the Love and Marriage Huntsville. Anything else about the show? I think that we are good. Let's go ahead and hop over into gossip chat. Ooh. Martell Holt found guilty.
Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up.
You going to jail, bitch.
Like you said, why I'm thinking about fuck the club up, fuck the club up. Hey, lock his ass up, lock his ass up. Oh wow, Martell Holt, you sat your ass over there and tried to downplay that thing with your mama, only for the judge. And see, it's crazy because you had to go ahead and admit that you sent that lady some stuff you ain't had no business sending her, and now you got tied the hell up. Now I can say, I will say this: I am confusion, y'all. And the reason why I'm confusion is because I'm hearing that he got a suspended sentence of 12 months. But then Jasmine Brand, they're saying that it's 30 days. He has a suspended jail sentence of 30 days. So I'm not really sure which one it is. But something
I read 30
suspended.
days on another article too. I think it was like
Okay,
reality.
okay. Okay, cool. So it's 30 days. Jasper Brand says that he was handed a suspended jail sentence of 30 days. Under a suspended jail sentence, a judge may partially or entirely suspend the convicted individual's prison or jail sentence so long as they fulfill certain conditions. I wonder what was his conditions. Don't he got to pay like a fine, and then he also got to go to a psychotherapy or something like that?
Yeah, the fine was. I think the fine said $500 or something little.
Yeah, there it is. It's right. Yeah. So they're saying that Martell Holt cannot have any communication with Melody Cherie. He was fined for more than $500 and was ordered to get a psychological evaluation. His next court hearing will be on June 18th. And child, you better have them people money ready. Now, see, you down here trying to send text messages when you could have just been down there trying to go and get that license and not have to be, a part of this. You could have been getting money instead of losing it. It's a very unfortunate situation.
Martell is a lost cause.
Say what?
I said he wouldn't have to be filming out of empty buildings.
Out of construction sites.
Yeah, what are you doing filming in empty buildings and you ain't got no builder's license? Why we keep meeting up with you at these projects?
Yeah, I thought he owned it with that other dude that he was working with because he ain't got the license. I thought he was using that dude's license and they were working together.
You can't trust nothing that nigga
Oh,
say
that wasn't
about no
his?
business. You can't. I'm just saying, you just can't trust nothing he say. Nothing or his friends, because every single one of his friends, I feel like he cheated around, and so anything they do for him is out of blackmail. And I think he been doing that since season 1. So I don't.
You mean
trust
they
nothing.
cheated around him?
Yeah. I feel like they was cheating together. Like, so if Martell brought Ariane around, then Maurice was bringing somebody around. Marceau was bringing somebody around. The other nigga was bringing somebody around. Shit, Chris might have been bringing somebody around. So Derek might have been bringing, like, everybody might have been bringing somebody around. Because I was watching it back and I'm like, so Derek really was trying to have a part in this shit and then just up and disappeared. And I feel like it's because everybody could see how Martell likes to go around dragging everybody down, but y'all blame Mel for it. Because Martell was the first one to bring up the 20 girlfriend shit with Marceau. That everybody was talking about. It was crazy to me when I was watching it back. I was like, everybody kept really acting like it was Mel that put that shit out first, but Martell was the one that was really spraying everybody off rip because everybody was like, dude, like, you can't be cheating on your wife and like having.
He was very
chick
serious
call.
about the 20 girlfriends.
Yes, he was dead ass about it. And I think back on it and I'm just like, that nigga never stopped cheating. And I really feel like it's crazy the way he was mad at everybody for not believing it, even though the girl was like calling Mel and shit. Like, yo, watching that shit back in real time, knowing what we know now. Because back then, you know what I'm saying? Back then we was like, oh, maybe we didn't get it. Like, we didn't really understand what was going on until we saw Tosh K interview Ariane. And then it was just like, oh.
Well, that's why it was funny to me that Marceau sat up there in last week's episode and said, yeah, I understand because I decided not to get a divorce. So what do you mean you understand? Because let you and Tisha tell it, the bloggers and people are making up stuff about your marriage and people don't want y'all to be together. So on what level do you understand what Martell is going through? Did you cheat or did you
and
not?
how you can relate because you've been through it too, right?
Yeah, what you been through?
I think when Tisha saw that picture of his back, I know they tried to act like we was tripping. But ain't no nigga back looking like that, nigga. That was your back. And she knew that was your back because it had been one too many times.
A very identifiable back.
Listen, and people had come to Tisha over and over again. And Tisha said, listen, it better not be true. In season like 1 or 2, that lady was like, listen, it better not be true. And I really feel like he curtailed his shit because Tisha must have got serious and we just never got to see it because they was always protecting them. And that's the shit that was making me mad with Carlos because I was like, why is it that you so happy to put Mel on blast? But when it comes to everybody else, including Martell, you willing to hide everything that's going on. Like, how is that a good show make? If these people got the same shit going on and you not showing us, you showing us fucking Kiki, Stormy and them like we give a fuck. Meanwhile, Maurice is probably cheating on Kimmy. Marceau is still probably cheating on Tisha. They done gone through a whole thing and we ain't seen nothing of it because y'all won't bring miscellaneous people on here to distract us. Honestly, the show should be done at this point. I think the show needs to be done because at this point, Mel, I hope you can do bad by your damn self. Like, or I hope OWN will give you a show where you don't have to be involved with Carlos. But I think Love and Marriage needs to be done because at the end of the day, like, this is just bad producing. Like, for nothing else. This is bad. That's why somebody said that, oh, y'all always act like y'all don't like to talk about. It's not that we don't like to talk about it. It's that it's always disappointing. Like we get trailers and everything look all entertaining and shit. And then we actually get through the season. And ever since that, the fight with the men down to Destiny store, that might have been the last time a trailer actually like gave us what it was supposed to give as it
Drew
pertains
us
to the
in.
season. Yeah, but after that, ain't shit been going on this show. And I'm not saying we need them to
We see
fight.
more on social media.
No,
Exactly.
it really didn't. Now that I think about it, Bondy, because that was the biggest highlight of the season. It started, I think, once that fight aired, everything just started to decline that same season. Like it just wasn't. They used
And then they
that
took a
fight
break
to
and
uphold
came
the
back.
entire thing.
And then they took a break and came back for a longer season. Remember?
And it was even worse.
It was.
It was like the second
ratings
season
dropped
was just to
terribly.
show the fight. After the fight, nothing else happened.
Nothing else. And that's where we are. Anything else on Mr. Holt? Peace out.
Get what you deserve.
Oh,
All
it's your fault we don't like you. It's not Mel's fault. It's your fault we don't like you. We don't like you because of you.
All right. Child, he ain't the only one getting snatched up and got the cuffs thrown on him. Because one thing the people down there in Huntsville gonna do, they gonna get locked up. If they don't do nothing else, they is gonna get locked up. Unfortunately, it looks like Destiny get her second arrest in 20. Is it the second arrest in 2024?
I think the last one was
I feel like she was arrested in January. Was it okay? Maybe it was December.
Maybe when her daddy walked down there with her.
Yeah, I don't know if it was January or December. Yeah, so she was arrested on fraud identity theft. Girl, who identity was you over there taking? I wonder if this is tied to LeBerick because he also, with the last one with her being arrested, I think she was accused of forgery of some sort. So I'm wondering if this is tied to her probably using his identity in some sort, or if it has like if it's something completely different. For me, I just don't know about LeBerick. I'm not saying Destiny is that amazing of a person, but my eyes on you too, LeBerick, if this does have something to do with you. But anywho, I think she bonded out. Her bond was about $5,000. So arrested and out
Let me
all
ask
in the
you
same
this,
day.
though. Let me ask you this. So the same way Mel got Martell arrested for something he actually did, let me say, you said you don't know about LeBerick. Do you feel like LeBerick would be wrong for getting her locked up for having these bills in her name multiple times? I mean, we don't know if that's the case, but let's say this second time is because she got another bill in his name. He puts out he gets a warrant put out. Do you think he would be wrong for that?
I feel like it depends on the time frame in which it happened. Because if that's what I'm wondering about. Like, I mean, was it something that was already in place when y'all were married? And she just didn't get it out afterwards or something? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I got to get more details about the situation. But I'm thinking about also the different things that she mentioned that he has done. And it's like, damn, you definitely have been on her head ever since she had your child. And you haven't let
even
up.
when we interviewed
so
her.
I'm like, yeah. So I'm kind of like, I'm not saying she's perfect, but I don't think that he's an innocent person either. You know,
Yeah, I feel you.
Because oftentimes we do talk about, men that may do certain things to the mother of their kids, and it's like, this is a woman that got your child though. So what's really going on? No sympathy or anything. So what's really happening? Did at one point you give her permission to use your identity for anything, and then now you're able to use it against her? I don't know, but I would need more details. He might not be completely wrong in this situation.
I don't sorry, y'all. It's not even that I question LeBerick at this point. I'm sure LeBerick is some snake ass nigga at some point, because at the end of the day, as a woman, Destiny, you're only going to low-key attract what you attract. So looking at the way you get down, I'm not surprised you attract snake like niggas because you act like a snake when it comes to other women. I'm just sorry. Like when it came to how that shit went down with Mel, then the way you were friends with the other women that we heard that Martell was like all of that shit seemed real suspect and snake like to me. But that shit aside, how many times are you gonna get arrested for fraud? How many times? I mean, like, how many times did Apollo Nighter needed to go to jail while being on a reality show for y'all to realize you can't commit fraud while on a reality show because motherfuckers is watching you? How many times did somebody who just watches this show, as y'all discuss the millimeters that are all, just disgusting and crazy? How many times did they go and pull y'all's fucking records from the courthouse because some of the millimeters work down to the courthouse? Like, how many times? So to me, I just kind of feel like fraud is not something that you did not do and somebody's accusing you of. Fraud is something that you probably did. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fraud. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know how it could be him and not you when it's fraud. Even though I'm sure he may have something to do with it. And like I said, like I don't trust the Chicken King because the Chicken King and you was together. So obviously something must be amiss. But still, I'm looking at her like, bitch, how many times do you need to go to jail for fraud in order for you to learn the lesson? You pretend as if you got your shit
And that's what I
together
want.
and we end up here. Go ahead.
And I just want to know more. I want to know more. Like when was the time frame? Is this all of this also tied to the same? If this is about LeBerry, because we don't necessarily know, but if it is based on what happened the last time with falsifying documents, is all of this around the same time frame?
See, and that's the
want more
issue, Jamie.
details.
I don't think we're gonna get the more. Even when it comes to Sonny and Moses, I don't think we're gonna get the more because she gave us nothing on the seasons that she was on the show. So I don't know why she would turn around and give us more background context, which is why I was withholding my sympathy. So similar to this situation, even though she back on the show, I don't see her discussing this with us. And I don't think we're gonna have like a full circle understanding of this situation, nor Sonny and Moses.
Gotcha. Anything else on Miss Destiny Payton? Good luck. All right, let's
You muted,
see.
Bondy.
I'm sorry. I was about to say when she gonna tell the truth. Cause I feel like, she don't never tell the truth. Like she always lying about something. It's like, damn, bitch, like what is gonna take?
A plea.
Not a plea.
Not a plea.
I just don't get it. Like, isn't it like crazy for her to continue to get caught up in these types of situations at this point? Like, literally been on the show since season 2. Y'all, we didn't know her, but no, that's literally the season her and Kimmy got into it. You've been around and on reality TV since season 2. It's season 8. My what is going? We can't want better for you if you don't want better for you. I'll say that. And I think you think as long as you're allowed to pretend and pump fake, then people won't see you for who you are. But to me, you giving rat just like some of the Love and Hip Hop, well, not even Love and Hip Hop shit. Love and Hip Hop people don't even commit fraud like this. This is some Zeus Network shit. Like, bitch, why don't you go over there and fight for your life?
Well, anything else on Destiny? All right. We are about to go ahead and switch gears. Make sure the likes is over there liking because we are about to talk about something else that you guys are just so ready to chat about. And that is the new cast of Real Housewives of Atlanta. They finally dropped it. They finally let us know who the hell is in, who the hell is out. And as we can see, Sonya is out, Sheree is out, Marlo is out, and thank God Courtney is out as well. All right. What are your thoughts, ladies, on the old heads returning? I'm not mad at the selection. I think it's cool for Cynthia to be a friend of the show. I don't think Cynthia is at a place where she would want to give us more of her life anyway. So I think that friend of the show will be good, but I kind of want Cynthia to be a little more messier. I kind of would not mind seeing Cynthia carry a bone or two as a friend of the show. But what are your thoughts about the old heads returning?
I'm thoroughly pleased. I think this is a great selection. honestly, I would have. A lot of people sleep, but I would have threw a fit if Drew didn't come back because I felt like what everybody was ready to do was play in her face, like she didn't really just carry storylines for the seasons that she had been on the show. So she's not an old head, but she's returning, and I'm thoroughly pleased. What I'm interested to see though is the Portia, Kenya, Cynthia dynamic. Is Kenya only gonna be with Cynthia all the time? Is Portia and Kenya gonna kiki like they friends again? Let's, act like we like each other because we are like OGs. I don't know. So yeah, I'm interested to see that dynamic. Also to see how Kenya is gonna get along with these new girls. Because the new girls seem very like fresh. Let me say that. They seem fresh. Very young, very like something about them is just new. It's like it's a new generation on Real Housewives is the way I would say it.
I'll say that I'm excited that they have new people, but they haven't completely gotten rid of everybody from the old cast. I'm glad they brought Cynthia back. Now that she's single again, she'll probably be way more entertaining to watch. However, how many times are we gonna try to make fetch work with Shamia? Like, she's been on there several times, and I don't feel like she's ever given enough for her to come on as a full cast member. So I'm just kind of like, what is this? Also, as it pertains to Portia, I'm gonna be severely annoyed if they allow for Portia to be a victim. Like, I'm gonna be severely annoyed about that because essentially, bitch, you left because you didn't want to be held responsible for stealing that lady husband. You know, as much as you can steal an ain't shit ass nigga from a woman that don't really want him no more. So it ain't really nothing like that, but I do feel like there's something to be said about Portia being an asshole and then pretending to be stupid so that people won't actually hold her accountable for being an asshole. And I think that time is over. So remember how she was when she was on the Ultimate Girls Trip? I'm not gonna take that. Like, that's gonna annoy me. So I don't know how that's gonna
She
work.
thought
So
she was HBIC on that girl trip. I
she
was not fucking
did
with her at all.
at all. So I want
Yeah, I agree.
I want Kenya to keep her foot on her neck if we're gonna do this. I also want Cynthia to be prepared to kick a bitch in the pussy if she needs to. Like, I need, I just don't want anybody allowing Portia to do this, laughing bubbly, but still kind of being an asshole mean girl thing that she does. I'm not here for that. But the new girls, I hope y'all give something. And I'm glad that Drew is back because I want to know what's going on with her and that weird ass husband of hers.
Yeah. I'm excited about the new ladies. I'm gonna say this, like I said the other day, I'm 50% excited. I'm glad we're getting fresh faces, but I think I'm more concerned about I'm glad to see new people, but I don't know how production finna like really do their job. And we might be feeling like it's gonna be all good and dandy, and it could possibly not. The show may not give exactly what we think. But I'm looking forward to meeting the ladies. I believe the names are what is it? Brittany, Edie, you have Kelly Farrell, and then I forgot the other lady's name, the one on the end. Of course, Shamia will be returning. I'm sorry, not well, she's gonna be coming back
Like
as a
Angela
housewife.
Yates. Angela something, right?
Yes,
Is it
yeah,
Angela
or
Yates?
Oakley or something like that. Angela Oakley or
yes.
something. I think that's it. Y'all know what I thought about with Shamia? I was thinking about Mariah and Quad. And I'm wondering with Shamia coming on the show being an actual housewife, if she may end up being like a fan fave that could eventually lead to the fallout of Portia and Shamia. Because a bit of jealousy may exist. So I do question what their dynamic is going to be. I don't really want to see Shamia having so much of Portia's back, but we shall see. Brittany Edie is really interesting because as soon as I saw her, I said, dang, she kind of favored Fallon a little bit, right? And then somebody is saying that she is actually related to Fallon and that they're cousins. So if that is true, I wonder, what type of cousin is she? Is she the cousin that feels a way that, somebody like Portia moved in on her cousin's man? Or is she the cousin to where she don't really fuck with Fallon like that either, so it ain't got nothing to do with her? and it is what it is. So
I don't think she
I
really
do
fuck with
wonder.
Fallon because I went to their followers to see if they was following each other, and they not.
Well, there's that.
There's Sheree.
But I'm right. I'm here for it though. I'm here for it. So shout
Very
out to them
much.
for finally bringing something to us, because I feel like the list they gave us in February is a completely different list than it is now. So sometimes
It
you just
is.
gotta wait until more details come. So that's where we at with that one. Anything else on them? No. Let's go ahead and move on. I want to go ahead and make sure that we talk about girl, we gotta talk about Clay. Got to talk about Mr. Clay of Love is Blind. Y'all know Clay was over here dating AD at one point over there on Love is Blind. He ended up turning her down at the altar. Okay. He decided he was going to come to the front to show us how much he is happy with the woman he supposedly is dating, which I feel like was just a clout move in all honesty.
Definitely.
So he comes out with Selena Powell, who happens to be like a Cat Stacks, a new age, whatever Cat Stacks, somebody that's been sleeping around with all these different folks and then expose them later.
Not
That's
a new
what
age. That's hilarious.
New age, yeah.
No,
Literally.
for real. But like, how old are we now? Like, new age cats. That I'm sorry, because that was like
I'm
social
thinking
media.
about that's true, but I'm thinking about when like camera was like all blurry and stuff, and you can't really see
Yes.
certain things.
Like,
Like
is it
now we got more
cocaine?
clarity, right? So this is yeah, that's Selena Powell, and it's giving. I just don't like him, bro. Like the more I see him, I do not like him. And then his mama came out to check the hell out of him, and I loved it. She told y'all stop sending her messages about this stuff. Don't do that. She don't want to see nobody doing anything inappropriate. She calls out her son and pretty much kind of lets him know that he know better, but God is still there for him, waiting for him to get his life together and come back to the right side of things. Okay. He sends out a note to his mama and says, what he says to her, I'm sorry, or whatever like that is what he tells his mom. He says he's sorry, but then Selena, she comes and she puts a video up with Tupac saying F you and your mama. So it's been a mess. Next thing you know, Clay been caught out here. First of all, I don't even know why Selena reposted AD and said, God saved you. He's the problem. All right. So this is a whole nother woman that he's caught out here with. And matter of fact, there was another one that I had.
Film star.
Where is it?
That's who they say that girl is.
Oh, she's a film star?
Yeah, with somebody Ryder, Willow Ryder is her name.
Willow Ryder, that's it. And you know what's crazy? When I saw him with Selena, y'all, I thought of 4. When I saw him with Selena, I was like, okay, he give me 4 vibes. Yes. Yes.
I wouldn't even say 4 is this bad.
But I mean, he's
in the kink.
Like,
but
you know, the whole porn,
the whole yeah, he's in the kink. But this nigga, like, to me, I feel like Ford doesn't really do it for clout as much as he does it for his own enjoyment. Like, if he really wanted to do shit for clout, he probably would have been doing it when he was actually on reality TV. This dude seems like he thought he was a good guy, and he's realizing now that he has so much access to new cooch that he's not a good guy at all, and he's going full-blown villain on us is what it feels like. I feel like Ford is just a weirdo that was figuring out he's into kink. You know what I'm saying? Like he fucked up, but it seems less fucked up than this. I don't know. Clay seems like
possibly
vindictive is what I'll say. Like vindictive, malignant.
This is crazy. And you know, the only laughable thing about this is the fact that he may have played Selena, even though Selena be the one playing everybody. It's given he about played her. She puts this up and she captions, someone tell that old lady what her son really doing. Y'all leave me alone now. He genuinely is his daddy's son.
That's funny to me because Selena Powell, Powell, right? She ain't too far off from whatever this girl do for her profession. I would assume. How you gonna shame the porn star? How are you gonna shame the porn star when people know when they see you It's nothing good associated.
I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Exactly.
Because I'm gonna tell you why. So these days, I think they feel like OnlyFans people are like desperate. Whereas if you fuck celebrities, you're chosen. So I think that she feels that she's more important because she is known for fucking celebrities, whereas a OnlyFans girl can fuck just any old random person on Twitter so that they can create an OnlyFans, you know? So I think that might be the thing, but also it's like, girl, shut the fuck up. I don't even like Selena Powell for a number of reasons, but I remember when the shit came out with Diddy and Cassie, wasn't she one of the people that said that, you know, oh, I don't like when you guys make it seem like the prostitutes are like being trafficked. It's like, girl, shut the fuck up. Everybody is not there because they thirsty for some rich, famous person's validation like you. Like some people actually are like, you know, groomed and drugged and, you know what I mean? And I'm sure she was too. And she just, you know, her mind's just gone at this point. Like all that sucking random people's dicks and letting Snoop Dogg snort cocaine off your ass allegedly. I saw a video, but I'll just say that just to make sure that nobody comes for us. But yeah, I feel like he's one of those dudes that just gonna keep tipping the line until he's fucking some dude on OnlyFans. So we'll see.
Yeah, he is so freaking whack. So his PR person felt the need to come out, and she gave her statement and said that she hated that she even had to address it. So she wanted to go ahead and wrap it up and let everybody know that she pretty much was representing him at one point, and then they parted ways. So she's no longer representing him, right? So she had a lot to say. Well, Selena decided to come out, and Selena had this to say. She reposted the message and she says, "Hey babe, are you the same pro-black woman publicist that told Clayton to fake cry to gain sympathy at the reunion and say that AD was the love of his life, knowing damn well he didn't even like her and went on the show in hopes to quit his day job and propose only because Netflix offered him $16,000? Are you the same publicist? I need to know by 12 p.m. sharp tomorrow."
Only 16,000? Wow.
Wow. I was about to tell y'all this seemed like a scheme that the publicist set up because I did not have given a fuck about Clay and Selena Powell together on my bingo card at all. This seems like an elaborate scheme.
That Ty set up to come to us with the bullshit? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But I also feel like on some level, that doesn't mean anything because he's the type to fuck a woman for clout.
He is. Yeah.
I don't review Bridgerton anymore behind the paywall. I don't, girl. But I'm going to be watching this weekend.
It's back.
I've never watched Bridgerton before.
The new season come back tomorrow.
It's giving.
Good. I don't know if the new season gonna give, but I know the first season gave, and then the season with the black lady centered on her that gave, the queen and shit. That shit gave.
Okay.
So y'all should check it out.
Okay. Lastly, I do want to wrap it up by ending on the Kale situation. So let's go ahead and hop over there.
I really want to sing all that. That's too funny.
You said you want to sing that?
Okay. This is all that. Listen, I don't know why. Because it ain't got nothing to do with that. Them poor people, okay? Kick an introduction. I'm gonna leave it alone. But yes, no, Kel's out here lying, I heard.
Yeah, they're saying that he is saying that his wife cheated on him and had an abortion, and then he played it up like she had multiple abortions. So I wanted to check it out and see what he had to say.
Relationship is very important, and you need to let people know how you feel. At that time, I really wasn't doing that.
Right.
There was a trust thing. You know what I mean? I had already been through death, you know, within my family in Chicago, and all these things were going on. At this point, both of my uncles was murdered. I had a friend that was murdered that we talked about. Yep. All this happened around the same time. And so there wasn't any, I wasn't seeing any therapist or anything of that nature. I was just working constantly with working on the show and within doing that. And then at that time too, I ended up marrying my ex-wife, you know, because we had another baby. We had a baby, right? We had the abortion, but then we had a baby. And she ended up telling me that the baby that was aborted wasn't mine. And so within that process, you are immediately married within a lie already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So the marriage was never the same after that, was it?
No, it was. This is at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? This is right at the beginning. And so within that process,
She probably should have kept that to herself.
Okay. So then she goes on and she comes out and she has some things to say.
Anyway, so his Kel's math isn't mathing. He is not of your life. So I figured that I had to accept Kel for who he was because he was my husband. But along the way, I realized that there were just some things that I could not accept. And once I stopped accepting those things that he wanted me to accept, that's when the man got completely psycho and crazy, and this really began the narcissistic nightmare that I'm still like. I hope people are realizing that this is why this is still trauma, right? Because still, so many years ago, this man is lying about abortions. I mean, just the fact that you're even lying about abortions is crazy. That's like really crazy work. But then also to state that because of these fake abortions or because of cheating, because of me cheating, this man said he wanted to kill himself. I mean, just think about how narcissistic that sounds, right? Another thing is, and I want to clarify this very much. In the interview, Kel is acting like, we did not want our son and it was a secret. It was not a secret. It was never a secret. We wanted our son. He's the one who wanted me to get pregnant with the son. We told everybody. Both of our parents knew as soon as we found out that we were pregnant. And so there was no sneaking around. It was not a shock. Every single person knew, and he made it a point to make everybody know. So like, that's even crazy to me, because when this was happening, as soon as I found out that I was pregnant, he was so excited, and his parents, everyone was so excited. And is not talking about me. I am not the one that is pregnant. It's not even physically possible. The very first time that I had sex, I was impregnated with my son, who is here, and he's alive and well, and there could not have been an abortion in between any of that, because obviously that's not how it works, right? So we were 18 when our first child was born, so I don't know what he's talking about. And then 19, nobody was born. But that's why I'm saying that, I really do think that sometimes when people have mental issues and they have, well, I don't even know if it's a mental issue, really. I just think that Kel is such a bitch that he thinks that this is how like he stays famous, is to just act like a poor guy with my wife cheating on me. Like it makes the stuff that he did to myself and our children more tolerable, because I'm such a terrible whore slutty woman who sleeps around. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? It's really interesting to me, because he lies about stuff that's just ridiculous, very, very ridiculous. And all of this abortions and all this stuff. And the reason why he says all of these things, I think, are because he's a narcissist. And I have done several videos about how narcissists abuse you at your weakest moments. And so one thing that I had to do, and I'm also a mathematician, so I'm always paying attention to patterns, and I had made a journal. In my journal, I realized that, oh my gosh, that Kel physically abuses me anytime I come out of the hospital, because that's when I'm at my weakest. And so I think that what Kel is trying to do, he's trying to recreate the story to make there be a reason other than the fact that I'm really sick and I have a critical disease, and so I'm forced to go to the hospital a lot. And so he doesn't want anybody to feel sorry for me with all the medical records. So instead, he's trying to equate me going to the hospital with abortions, which is, unfortunately what these kinds of narcissists do. And the old
Okay, so that's part of what she said. She has a whole nother video where she, I guess, tells more information, but I do want to get into what their child said, because the child had something to say to him as well. So let me get into that. The child says, Dad, I honestly don't understand why you keep putting this out here when I've told you how men I have been contacting me, calling me a slut because of my mother. I am your daughter. As a woman, I'm also disappointed in you. I'd choose a bear over a man. Damn.
Children. When that was taken away to a thing where I'm going to court, right? And I'm fighting to see my children, meaning that let's finish this divorce. She didn't want the divorce to end. So in her mind, it's just like, oh, well, no, I'm going to make this go on as long as possible.
Right.
And I'm going to court and she's not showing up. I'm trying to go find out where they're at. You know what I mean? And I can't go. I'm trying to go to the house and like, yo, what's going on? And she called the cops because I want to see the kids and go, he tried to break in. Her dude's going along with it. And I'm just like, okay, so I'm not going. She said, hey, I'm going to make your life a living hell. I don't want you. You need to stay. That was the thing. And after.
Oh, wow. So there's more. So the daughter pretty much goes in on her dad. She says, and my stepdad didn't change our names to hide us away from you. We've talked about this and you know why it was because my mom never wanted my little siblings to feel different than us. I begged to take over my stepdad last name. He made it a cute ceremonial thing because it was him accepting me as his daughter. You got my brother and I tested to see if we were even yours while the dad who stepped up took over the role you let go. Please speak the truth. And when people would Google us and see that our last name is Mitchell, and it was embarrassing to say my dad wasn't there. So by taking my stepdad's name, I felt like every other kid in the class from a 2-parent household. Please don't blame either parent for the ignorance of young men that are not worth your time at all. You are God's child, regardless of anything. She says, I agree on the first part, last part you're projecting. I don't have daddy issues because I had a dad. It just wasn't him. Damn. Okay.
So
I don't know. Something's up with Kel and her for me.
Mm-hmm.
Something is I don't know. I'm
She
gonna
was
have to
talking
dive
about the
deeper into the
patterns.
situation.
Mathematician. I was like, wait, what are we
Yeah.
talking about?
Do y'all think it was right for him to speak on abortions, knowing that if let's say she did confirm that, hey, these are not your kids, do you think it was his place to tell technically her business since they didn't belong to him?
No.
Or you think
I
that
think
was fair for him to tell?
I don't think it was fair because I feel like he was trying to slut shame her out of like revenge. Like there's no point to it. If y'all not together anymore, what is the point of you even talking about this woman? And as the daughter said, when you put mom out there like that, you put me out there like that. And he don't even care about that. So at the end of the day, I know that we can say she's off. And I can agree because she talking, real weird and shit. She all close to the camera, bitch. Whenever people too close to the camera, like, bitch, you can't see yourself. What's going on? So I get it. But at the same time, I don't believe nothing that Kel is talking about. I just don't. I don't feel like Kel is honest. I feel like Kel has been put out here a long time ago for not being a good father. And so now to get up here with your wet eyes, looking like you just finished crying and some shit, like nigga, go play a role and get some money or something like that. But you trying to slut shame your old lady on club, your ex old lady on club Shay Shay, like that's whack as fuck. And at the end of the day, like whatever was going on with that lady Coochie, like we don't care. We barely care about you. Why you think we care about what happened with her?
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm starting to think now. I'm starting to think when you say you don't believe him and just everything you said got me thinking like, yo, I'm starting to think he probably did this on purpose. He went on Club Shay Shay for a reason. A lot of people do to get whatever clout. And you knew that when you start talking about her, she was going to speak out and say something.
Respond.
And then it was going to go into the blogs. So now I'm over here like it was a scheme that you set up to come to us with the bullshit. That's what I'm starting to think.
Part of me don't believe him either. Part of me, it could go two ways. Either he's lying flat out, or it happened, but he's not telling us the second half of it, which is y'all weren't together at the time and y'all decided to get back together after a while. Like it's something going on. In another blog post, I saw a lot of people saying that she alleged that he was gay. And I think that that's what she was alluding to.
Nick Cannon wearing her cheerleading uniform was one of the stories that came out.
Oh, another time they got into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at the beginning of the video, she was talking about once she was able to accept something or she couldn't accept something about him. I think she was like alluding to him being gay. So what I'm saying is the piece that may also be left out, it may be a third scenario to this. Maybe y'all both was messing with the men together. I don't know. And everybody's
What's
just
crazy?
telling like 2 parts of a 3-part story.
Very true. Shannon, I don't know. I mean, Shannon ain't tired because he's making too much money. But I feel like this is a third person that went onto this man's show and then capped about a woman. I feel like what's that boy? Desi Banks did it, and then she was airing him out on TikTok. You got Kel doing it. And then I haven't seen Gary Owens' interview yet, but I think Gary even said some stuff that was problematic and not completely actual factual. So I don't know what the hell y'all got going on.
Gary is being delusional about whatever happened with his wife and the kids. Cause I'm like, yeah,
I
nigga,
think
you
so.
really don't know why these kids don't fucking like you? Really? I don't believe you.
I think so too.
I mean, if I'm being real, any person that's an actor or a comedian or entertainer, it's a possibility, especially men. It's a huge possibility that you were not there for your kids at all. And you probably made their mom a nuisance for wanting you to be home and spend time with them. And so
he kind of says that though. He did say that.
Oh, yeah.
After so much or so many times of saying he didn't know why, he also said he was on the road.
And that's it. Them kids gonna pick their mama side because their mama was there, my nigga. Like that's just what it is. And if you cheating and doing all this dog ass shit, I feel like the only thing you can do is be patient and be humble about it. Because at the end of the day, like again, you weren't there.
That's what he said. He said that too.
Good.
He said he was just gonna wait for them to come back, come around, basically.
Good.
Oh,
He low
wow.
key be acting sometimes like he's just oblivious. I'm like, nigga, how many times we gotta hear you talk about? I have no idea why they're upset at me. I don't know. Like, whatever.
Y'all, if Brian McKnight make his ass over there to Club Shay Shay, I'm done.
Listen, get him on there. I'll go
I'm sure
watch
they've
him.
already reached out.
I'll go watch him lie and gaslight the whole public and have his children crying at home and shit. Like, let me tell y'all something. When I tell y'all, he has ruined Martin. He has ruined my wife and kids. Cause I don't want to hear you singing no more love songs. You unloving ass nigga. Cause if you don't love your children, I don't want to hear you sing. There will never come a day.
It actually
I don't
won't.
want to hear it.
You'll ever hear me say that I want and
Listen,
need you in my
need you
life.
in my
Like,
life.
I
No.
don't want or need them kids. I hate that. That's horrible.
No, he's a terrible person, and I don't care what he says. Like, there's nothing that you could tell me that all 3 of them kids did in order for you to shun them the way you have. You're a terrible human being, and there's a special place in hell for you. I think so. I think so. Sister too. Psh, this nigga ruining all of the shows.
Oh, I think he was on there. Yeah, I think he was on there.
Couldn't get a Grammy, but kept popping up on people's TV shows.
Barry. Anything else? I think that's it.
Okay.
All right. We appreciate you guys for joining us tonight. Again, make sure you're supporting the channel. Okay. Make sure you're following us on all social media platforms. Have any questions and you want to send that story in to us?
Okay.
Waist beads by Bree. Okay. Go ahead and send that over. Anybody you're welcome to at oohladiesfirstpanel at gmail.com. Feel free to follow us at oohladiesfirst, at Jami ThatsMe, Bondy Blue, and Necey Dixon. Okay. Yeah, that's all we got. Be looking forward to, more details coming about podcasts and stuff like that. And yeah, we are out of here. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.